Hernandez, for example, hit this ball that Dale Murphy never caught, but the umpire ruled it out. Hernandez wound up hitting for the cycle anyway. After 9 innings, it was tied 8-8. Top of the 13th, 2 outs, Howard Johnson hits a 2-run homer. Bottom of the 13th, 2 outs, Terry Harper hits the 2-run homer. Then in the top of the 17th, Darryl Strawberry and Davey Johnson both ejected. The Mets had already protested the game anyway. Top of the 18th, this Rick Camp error led to a Mets run. Bottom of the 18th, nobody to hit for Camp, so he hits for himself and belts his first Major League homer, 11-11 after 18. Top of the 19th, the Mets score 5 and go on to win it 16-13 in 19. And so at 4 a.m., 14 pitchers, 46 hits, and 8.5 hours after it was supposed to begin, it ended. And with most of the 45,000 fans long gone, it was now time for July 5th fireworks.
And that wasn't the only unusual occurrence of the week. There were some strange happenings all over baseball, which had a lot of people looking skyward.
There was a full moon over baseball this week. Mike Schmidt quieted the boos in Philadelphia with this getup, but during the game after a strikeout, the fans went back to booing him anyway. On the fly ball to right, R.J. Reynolds swipes at it, keeps it in play. He didn't realize he did it. Neither did the umpire. It was ruled a homer. Lamar Hoyt in self-defense. The squeeze bunt. That shouldn't have counted either. The replay clearly shows the ball hit his foot. In Texas, on the Curtis Wilkerson double. Nice play on the field. Nice ejection as well. And in Fenway, the bird escapes the rundown to the cheers of the crowd. Going, gone. That scored a sacrifice flight.
Well, the game of the week is next. I'm Len Berman in New York. I'll have the scores and highlights.
Last Sunday, the Oakland Invaders had to go to the last seconds to beat the Tampa Bay Bandits 30-27 on a 23-yard field goal from Novo Bojovic, advancing to the semifinals of the USFL playoffs. The Memphis Showboats crushed the Denver Gold 48-7, featuring power running like this from Tim Spencer and a crunching defense. Today, the Invaders and Boats go at it as ABC Sports presents the semifinals of the USFL playoffs 1985. The Western Conference champions Oakland Invaders and the Memphis Showboats. It is July in Memphis. That means it is summertime hot. Temperature listed 82 degrees at the airport. Ain't that here? It's about 10 more at the Liberty Bowl, and the humidity 68%. The Liberty Bowl is enclosed, and it'll be much hotter for the players on the field. The Invaders from Oakland may feel the heat and humidity a little more. This is a game that offers the ticket to the championship opportunity next Sunday night. The United States Football League, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game brought to you by S. And his team, I think, reflects his personality. Though I would say this, Reggie White touched on it a minute ago. The team that comes out with the most vigor in the early going and gets something moving without making a whole bunch of mistakes could be the team that's going to get out to maybe even a big lead. Big leads don't tend to hold up too often in playoff games. Memphis buried Denver last week, but mostly in the second half. The two teams do, in fact, reflect the personalities of their coaches, I think. Memphis is a little looser and maybe a little wilder. The aggressive defensive unit, the defensive coaches are aggressive people, whereas Oakland is a little more laid back, maybe a little more quiet and organized in the way they go about it because of Charlie Sumner. And here's the kickoff as Duncan hits it in the air. And circling under it is Sean Faulkner, and they'll have good field position out of it as the kick was short, and Faulkner gets the football back up across the 30-yard line. And lo and behold, we get a little fist fight going on the very opening play. But that's all right. That just gets everybody jacked up. Bobby Hebert, quarterback, John Williams and Albert Bentley will be the setbacks, and they're good ones. Anthony Carter, Gordon Banks are the wide people, and Doug Cozen is the tight end. Doesn't catch the ball very often. Ray Penny, Jeff Wiska, Jim Leonard, Tracy Franz, and Dale Markham will earn their money today. Well, we've got the ruckus under control between a couple of players on the opening kickoff, and Oakland will go to work now. First down from their own 34. Tom Newton opens in the backfield. The big man, 240-pound blocking back, if you will, with Bobby Hebert pulling the trigger, gives the ball to John Williams, and Williams bounces to the outside and turns in a 10, 11-yard run, 12-yard run as he moves the ball up to about the 47. So that's exactly what Pepper Rogers was worrying about. They're able to seal block and run Williams and Bentley outside, and they can just burn you dead, play after play after play for 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 yards. The defensive alignment for Memphis, 3 down, Clancy, White, Clark, with Rose, Grant, Hammond, Corker, their linebackers, Cade and Coleman, the corners, Bussey, the strong safety, and Don Besselou, the veteran, at the free safety. And Albert Bentley now is in the ball game with John Williams. Bentley's number is 32. They go the other way with it, however, give it to Williams, and Williams bangs up to about midfield, and there he is stopped.
Pepper told us that the defensive line wants to stop the run first, force the team up in the air and pass. However, the Oakland Invaders, it is their intention, being a very balanced team. At the end of the season, they were 50% run, 50% pass. They're going to try and establish a solid attack using Williams, using Bentley in that backfield, just to have that line thinking about several things so they can't really put their ears back and come with the all-out pass rush.
Second down and 8. Ball from midfield now. That's Williams going in motion, and back goes Hebert to throw on 2nd and 8. Has good throw. He is hit just as he releases to Tom Newton out of the backfield, and Newton racing for the marker, gets just past it. They've marked him at the 41, and that brings a squawk out of the Showboats. They thought he stepped out in front of it.
It's number 90, Sam Clancy, who hit Hebert just as he was throwing that football. One of the things I saw last week when Oakland was playing was that the Tampa Bay Bandits were able to get a substantial pass rush. Now here he takes a lot of time in getting this ball away. He is not going to have that much time all afternoon. He was looking for something much deeper. They were covered, so he had to go to his smaller short receiver, Newton, for the short gain.
They've given him a first down at the 41 of Memphis as we just get the ball game underway.
Newton getting up very slowly. It tripped over the bench as he was forced out of bounds.
Doug Cozen is out now, and Derek Holloway has come into the lineup. So that means they've got those 3 speedsters out there now. None of them terribly big, actually, but they can really pick your pocket.
Yes, they can. Hebert in the first playoff game was a 55% completion passer, 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns.
Cade lined up this time on Banks, and Coleman's got Carter. Bussey comes over to cover Holloway. And back goes Hebert on first down. They're after him. He gets the pass away. It is caught short by Williams. And the pass is then dropped as the contact was made by the veteran Don Besselou, playing free safety. He had his career at Georgia Tech in college, then went to the Dolphins in St. Louis before coming here from the Jacksonville Bulls. Besselou was the MVP at Jacksonville last year. The inside back at that time, Steve Hammond, was the man that made contact on the quarterback, forcing Hebert to hurry to the short man. But the reason Hammond and some of those inside backers can get loose is they become preoccupied with that massive man, Reggie White, in the middle. You'll have to double that guy. It's 2nd down and 10. Hebert rolls it this time and gets pretty good protection, gets his pass away, and the pass is incomplete. Holloway was out there. He had slipped away that time into an open area. Besselou was trailing him, but Hebert missed him.
Besselou is trailing him. Number 32, Ray Oldhams, was also in the ball game. He's that 5th defensive back that comes in. He had Don Besselou over the top in that coverage, but he had just slipped away in the zone. And Bobby Hebert, not a scrambling passer, didn't pull out on the ball. And he was trying to drop it in with a lot of touch, and he wasn't able to get there. And there's Charlie Sumner with the glasses on.
Bobby starting today, 1 out of 3. Last week he started against Tampa Bay, 1 out of 7. 4 wide receivers in there now as Mike Schumann comes in, and Newton is the lone remaining back. He's in there to block on 3rd down and 10. And the Showboats coming after him. He gets it away down the middle. The pass is caught or not? No. They're waving it off. Anthony Carter is screeching at the call. Ray Odoms had to cover Carter as Anthony turned it back in the middle, and he is hot.
He is livid. He thought he caught that ball, and the way he's complaining, I don't know if Charlie Sumner is going to opt to challenge this play or not. I couldn't see it from here, whether or not he made the catch. Man-to-man coverage all the way down the field. He looks like he's running on a post, and the ball is thrown short. Now he's fighting to come back to the ball here. You see Gordon Banks coming across.
He caught it.
Well, looks like the ball got in there. You can't see whether or not his hands are underneath that ball. It looks like it's a good catch, but if you challenge that, Keith, I think you have to uphold the official's call because you can't see whether or not he has the ball.
Well, you can't see if it went through his arms. That's
right.
One thing. His arms were in position to catch it, but you can't define it from that point on. Derek Crawford is deep now as Talley stands at his own 45. Will hit it at midfield. Best punter in the USFL. Knocks it toward the corner and knocks it out of bounds at the 4-yard line. They give him... where'd he put it? Up at the 8-yard line.
The ball bounced at about 5, then bounced backwards and out of bounds.
So it's a dandy of a kick by Stan Talley.
It's simple physics. Pistons in today's
Got Mike Kelly at quarterback, Tim Spencer and Anthony Parker behind him. Tight end is Gary Shirk. Wide man is Derek Crawford and Greg Moser. And they start on their own 8-yard line after Talley's kick. Ball is given to Parker. Anthony Parker of Memphis State across the 10 out to about the 13. Ray Bentley, an inside linebacker, brought him down. The offensive men up front for Memphis, Louis Sharp, made a big difference in this ball club when he came to them as a free agent from the St. Louis Cardinals. Tyrone McGriff, Swanee's old teammate from the Steelers. Larry Rubin played at Green Bay. Kenny Smith out of Miami, Ohio. Dave Huffman at the Vikings and the Wranglers, and Gary Shirk, who played with the Giants for 7 years.
Speaking of old teammates, McGriff, Ray Penny, and Banaszak all played for the Steelers. Were the 3 guys who went to the Michigan Panthers in mid-season in 1983 to help them turn it around and win the first championship. They're all here this afternoon.
On 2nd down, 4.5. They send inside the running back Tim Spencer out of Ohio State. He played with the Wranglers the first couple of years. Gary Plummer brought him down. Here's the alignment defensively for Oakland. They send Monty Bennett, Tim Moore, and Dave Browning up front with Holly and Vaughn working with them. Smith, Plummer, Bentley, Shaw backers, and Snipes is a specialty man. The quarterback's his primary target. Vito McKeever and Derek Martin are the corners. David Greenwood and John Sullivan are the safeties. Greenwood, of course, the big man, 6'3", 210 out of Wisconsin. There are 13 former Panthers on the Oakland Invader roster. Greenwood, of course, a very prominent one. Gerald Bradley's in the ball game now, along with Derek Crawford. And Memphis on 3rd down and about 4. Mike Kelly puts it in the air, delivers the ball right about the marker, close to the 20-yard line, and David Greenwood just levels Gerald Bradley.
But Gerald Bradley held on to the football, had just enough for the first down, actually got it by about a yard, and he knew he was going to get hit coming across the middle. The Oakland Invaders defense was lined up looking for the short pass. David Greenwood was there, and I'm sure David thought, if I hit him hard enough, I can dislodge the ball from him, but not that time.
Tim Spencer, incidentally, who had been troubled all season long by a bad ankle, had his biggest game of the season, 16 carries for 113 yards last week against Denver. From the 20 now, it's 1st down for the Showboats. In the first quarter of play, Kelly, a little quick pop, goes to the sidelines, pass caught. Greg Moser, former Oregon Duck, who played with the Gamblers a year ago, makes the catch and brings it up for another 1st down at around the 34-yard line. Moser is not the fastest of the receivers. Derek Crawford would be that person, but Moser is another one of those ball control receivers. He's very, very good.
He's a good technician. He runs sharp routes. He cuts his corner off very square, comes back to the ball, and has excellent hands. You got a chance to see just how good his hands and body control were on that last catch, jumping in the air, twisting around to pick up the reception.
Mark Rao comes in now at tight end. He's a pretty good pass receiver. Came out of West Virginia. The ball is given inside to Spencer, and Timmy at 220 pounds doesn't find much on that play, maybe a couple of yards. Anthony Carter still hot on the sidelines after it was ruled no catch against him a moment ago. Let's go to him now with Tim Brandt.
He is, Keith. He is adamant about the catch. He really believes he had it. Now, your arm's running. What did the officials say to you, AC?
Well, he said basically I dropped the ball, but I really caught it, and I think the other official had a closer view than the one that called it no good.
It looked at the replay like your arms are under it. They're running it right now.
There's no doubt about it that I caught it. It may cost us in the later run, but I hope not, and I hope we can get back in the game off of that.
Okay, Keith.
Thank you, Timmy. It is 2nd down and 8 now for Memphis. The ball at their own 36-yard line. No score. Kelly deep drop this time. Good protection. Pass to the sidelines. Oh, boy. Just tipped away by Oliver Davis. And Davis was running stride for stride with Gerald Bradley. Otherwise, Bradley makes that catch.
Davis didn't even turn around, Keith. Never knew the ball was in the air. Now, you watch Bradley. Gerald, number 80, is going to wait for the ball to come to him. And Davis can't see it, and he's just going to catch it and keep running. But watch it hit the shoulder pads right there, the back of the helmet of Davis.
Hit him in the head.
And just bounced away. Great defensive play.
Look what I found. Defensive play by Oliver.
Look, Ma, no eyes.
He had 2 pass interceptions last week coming off pressure on Reeves, and both of them thrown right to him with the receiver on the ground. So Oliver may be living a charmed life here. Oakland may have encroached, but I guess not. There's no flags on the play. And back at the 30-yard line, Randy McClanahan and Dave Browning get involved on the play and bring down Mike Kelly for a considerable loss.
Defensive line that time, Keith, ran a little game, came with a blitz. Now, they're not a strong defensive line in terms of having a Reggie White kind of player, one guy who can do it all for you. So they're going to blitz a lot. They're going to play games with the tackles going inside and then the ends coming wide, or the tackles going to the outside and the ends cutting back underneath to try and force pressure on Mike Kelly.
Jim Miller is in to punt, averaging just over 40 yards per punt. And Sean Faulkner, who returns the kicks, both kickoff and punts, deep for Oakland. When they played the last time, the first punt that Miller tried, he got banged around and somebody stepped on his foot. Angles that one off to the sidelines, and Faulkner takes it on the dead run. And Sean again has given Oakland very good field position back around their own 48-yard line. So it's a 35-yard low punt and a 14-yard return at 9:34 to go. These strips of mat. Everett Lloyd today in 3 sets. In the men's semifinals, Becker, after being delayed by rain, went ahead to defeat Jared. And, of course, Kevin Curran ousted Jimmy Connors yesterday in 3 sets. Curran, now an American citizen, has had quite a run. He knocks off McEnroe and knocks off Connors to go against the young West German Becker in the men's finals. The ball is handed to Albert Bentley. Albert Bentley is caught from behind by number 91, Carlton Rose. And run down. Carlton is playing with a badly bruised shoulder, but he's out there. He's a scrapper. He, too, came from the University of Michigan. Ball is put on the 49. It was a pickup of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9.
2nd down and 9, and they're very quick to make substitutions as you see Carlton Rose coming off. A defensive back going into the ball game. 5 defensive backs, and as we see 3 wide receivers for the Oakland Invaders lining up.
You got Ron Osborne out there on Anthony Carter right now. Mossy Cade is working against Gordon Banks, and Hebert on a deep drop goes toward Banks. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Steve Hammond, a linebacker who had dropped into the intermediate zone and reaches up and pulls it down. The Demon Deacon from Wake Forest.
One of the things I planned on mentioning in this drive, Keith, was the fact that the Oakland Invaders had established the early field position with the exchange of punts, a great punt by Talley, and a decent drive the first time they had their hands on the ball. But with man-to-man coverage and pressure on Bobby Hebert, he lets his pass go, and the only person in the vicinity was one of the Memphis Showboats. You look at him right here. He goes up in the air, makes a great steal right here as Gordon Banks was headed into Don Besselou territory. See it here from ground angle. Watch how high, Keith, he gets up in the air and takes this ball away. Difficult for a linebacker to do because his hands are usually heavily taped.
So Memphis has got it at their own 39 after the turnover, and Kelly back to throw. Gets it over to the sidelines, pass to Spencer. Tim goes down at the 42-yard line of Oakland, and it's the first time today that Memphis has been on the Oakland side of the field. Greenwood brought him down. That was a tough catch by Tim. He had to make it spinning around.
That was a very tough catch. Tim Spencer out of Ohio State, played for the Arizona Wranglers, or Chicago Blitz, then the Arizona Wranglers, then traded here to the Showboats. He's a good, solid receiver. He's not a great receiver, but he catches the difficult passes coming out of the backfield very well.
They put it at the 43. You've got 7:20 to go first quarter. Memphis now making a little bit of a threat here as the ball goes to number 46, Spencer again. And Tim is inside the 40, close to the 38-yard line. Memphis rushing last week had a lot of folks picking up a lot of yards. Leonard Williams, who is not active for this game, had 51, including a 35-yard touchdown scamper. But Parker and Porter had 49 and 42 last week.
Last week, the Denver Nuggets the Denver Gold, we're not playing basketball here. The Denver Gold really helped Memphis out with a tremendous number of turnovers.
From the 39. Second down and 6 for the Showboats. Little quick pop to the sidelines to Derek Crawford, and Crawford literally had no chance to get to it. They're going to call him down, and possessing the ball at about the 37. David Shaw, who had one of the 2 big sacks on John Reeves last Sunday. They had successive 8-yard sacks on Reeves that really produced the opportunity for Oakland to win the ball game. Shaw got the one, and Doug Holly got the other.
Right now, we're seeing the Memphis Showboats open up their offense just a bit. They were pinned down on their own, inside their own 10-yard line, so they came out very conservative on that first drive.
Spencer is out now, and Ricky Porter has come in. Ricky Porter is from Slippery Rock. It is third down and a long 3.
Looks like a blitz. It is.
Kelly gets it away, and the pass is dropped by Greg Moser, normally a sure-handed receiver, but he was being hounded by number 31, David Greenwood, and couldn't pull it in.
Well, I tell you, you cannot afford, Keith, against this defense to have that kind of performance by a wide receiver. Moser is usually a very sure-handed receiver, but watch, he just plain drops this one. It's not a difficult pass. It's thrown very easy right in his hands. Greenwood is going to make the tackle, but he's not even in position, Keith, to make a real physical hit.
So Miller comes in to punt now on 4th down, and Sean Faulkner goes back standing at his 5. First punt by Miller was a 35-yarder, returned 14 yards by Faulkner. No pressure on him. Gets the kick toward the corner. And it'll depend on the mark. Could be inside the 10. They've marked it at the 9. So both punters early in the ball game have effective coffin corner kicks here. 5:49 to go in the first quarter and no score. Possession. Now Oakland's got it at their own 9. The crowd starts to get into the ball game a little bit here for the Showboats. And let's see if Oakland stays conservative. With Bentley and Williams in the backfield, Hebert may have checked off. Took a long time. Gives to Bentley. Sweeps it. And coming up out of the secondary for the hit is Don Besselou. But still, Bentley is able to move the ball out to close to the 15-yard line.
Bentley got excellent blocking out in front of him. Was able to drive people off. The corners rolled up on the wide receivers. It looked like a man-to-man coverage, but the safeties were back to cover deep. Still a number of bodies along that defensive line, along the line of scrimmage. They were not able to cut off Albert Bentley's running lane to the outside.
Wonder if we'll see a little. Well, you would think that Memphis might be prone to gambling some here. Maybe blitzing, maybe stunting, trying to do something to keep Oakland pinned. They're looking at second down and 4 from just over the 14, and Hebert is going to throw it with no pressure. Gets his pass off for Carter. It is in. Oh, dropped by Coleman. Leonard had it and couldn't hold on. You can't throw rainbows like that, boy. I'm telling you, those 2 cornerbacks will eat your lunch if you start throwing those kind of rainbows.
One of the great assets for any cornerback is to have speed, make-up speed. Right here, Coleman gets beat. He gets turned around. See how far away he is? That ball rainbows, gives him enough time to turn around, take an angle to cut the ball off, and almost picks it off.
Should have.
And watch here, he gets completely turned around. He recovers, makes the play there. He really should have held on to that one. Memphis has failed, Keith, to take advantage of their opportunities. After the interception by Steve Hammond, they did not score. Moser dropping a pass. Here was another opportunity to get the ball deep in Invader territory, and they couldn't hang on to it.
Holloway in the lineup. Hebert rolls it out. Gets it away, gets it off to Holloway, and Derek steps out of bounds and has a first down for the Oakland Invaders up around the 28-yard line. And at that time, Leonard Coleman slipped and fell down. So Coleman banging the ground in frustration because, again, Hebert threw a soft pass.
If Derek Holloway had known that Coleman was on the ground, he would have turned around and sprinted down the sideline to score.
Yep. Ball is on the 38, and the Invaders are off the hook a little bit here. They started on their 9. They picked up a third down play in 2 possessions now. Ball goes to Bentley. Bentley spins in the middle and gets to the 31. Brought down by Calvin Clark out of Purdue. 6'4" and 250, number 74.
Keith, when we were talking to Pepper last night, you recall he mentioned that last week he felt his team should have had 40 points in the first half, but they didn't take advantage of things. They didn't do things properly, and he went in at halftime, and he says he didn't yell at them too much, but I think he talked to them very sternly. They came back out in the second half and put a lot of points up on the scoreboard. Seems to me they're playing the same way. They have opportunities here early in the first period, but they're not taking advantage of it.
From the 31, second down and 7. There, no pressure, passes away to the sidelines. A long pass across the field, and it is complete to Gordon Banks. So Banks got away from Mossy Cade that time.
So far in the ball game, they've got Gordon Banks, number 88, working primarily against Mossy Cade and Coleman against Anthony Carter. This time looks like a zone coverage. Gordon gets along that sideline. Bobby Hebert zips it in there. All Mossy can do is just go over and knock him out of bounds.
It is another first down for the Invaders, just short of their own 49. No score, 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Semifinal round, USFL playoffs. Tomorrow, Baltimore at Birmingham, 2:30 Eastern time. Quick drop, quick shot to the sidelines. To Carter, shakes 2 men, and picks up a first down. Anthony Carter is 5'11", 160. He's built a little bit like your favorite broom handle, but he is a tough cover.
And because of his physical dimensions, Keith, many running backs or cornerbacks think they can just hit him and don't have to hold on to him. Leonard Coleman misses a tackle. He spins out of it. Barney Bussey, unusual for him to miss any kind of a tackle, gets away from him.
And the Invaders have it first down at the Memphis 39. So Hebert and company now carving out an impressive possession. Carter out for a moment to get his breath on a hot day. Give the ball to Albert Bentley. And Bentley takes it to about the 36.
Now this is the kind of drive we did not see Oakland make until the third period, or the fourth quarter against Tampa Bay last week. We thought they would be able to put this kind of drive together consistently.
They didn't seem to play with very much authority last week. I just didn't feel that Oakland was really banging people. Of course, Tampa Bay offers problems in a way that Memphis does not.
According to some of the players, Charlie Sumner said just as much in a different way during the week.
Back goes Hebert on a big deep drop. Goes down the middle with it. The pass is complete to the 20-yard line to Anthony Carter, who had come back into the ball game. And Steve Hammond, the inside linebacker, again, was deep back there in that intermediate zone.
Anthony Carter doing a very excellent job in the early goings of this ball game, finding the open holes. Zone coverage, but the middle seems to be wide open. You see him just sitting there waiting. He doesn't come back to that when the ball reaches him. Linebackers are all in that territory. Have to be careful. If you're standing there waiting for the ball, somebody cuts in front of you, picks it off.
Ball at the Memphis 19, first down Oakland. Hebert throwing again, comes to the near sidelines to Gordon Banks, and Banks is wrestled down at the 12 by Mossy Cade. And Hebert now has hit 5 in a row.
Hebert seems to be on a roll here. I'll take a look once again as Gordon Banks adds yet another reception to his playoff stats. And watch the hit by Cade. Cade comes up and hits, but then he reaches out and makes sure he has a hold of him with the one hand. And with the one hand, the right hand, a little push from the left, he slams him down to the grass.
7-yard pickup, second down, 3 from the Memphis 12. And Newton lined up at the blocking spot in front of John Williams. This is Williams' territory, tough inside run. Hebert keeps it on a bootleg, turns and goes to a... Well, he's got a first down as he goes down around the 7-yard line. Big hole there. And that may well have been a play where Hebert just simply decided to keep it.
I think he did very often. You see the quarterback take the ball on a rollout on the keeper, and he doesn't tell anyone. We saw Cliff Stout do it very well in the playoff game in Birmingham against, who are they playing? Mind blank over here. Houston. And he picked up a substantial gain.
5 games for 3 weeks. That's no reason for you to be. It's 1st and goal, and the ball goes to Williams, and Williams looks for the corner and loses his footing, and there's a penalty flag. He's down about the 8-yard line. Veselu made the tackle, but let's see if we don't have a hole coming up here now. And they get a little. Well, if there had been a penalty against Oakland, I think probably that just nullified it, because one of the Memphis players retaliated.
It was John Corker, and let me tell you what happened, because I was watching. Number 45, Tom Newton, was upset about something. As you see here, Bill Sorgan give the call.
Number 45, offense. Unnecessary roughness.
When Tom
Cancel.
Newton walked over to talk to the official, he turned around, and while John Corker was walking away, he hit John Corker in the back of the head. John Corker turned around and hit him. And what's the oldest rule in professional football? The second man always gets caught.
Retaliation is what gets flagged.
That's right.
And as a result, Oakland actually profits from it, because they were looking at a holding call. And instead, the retaliatory action by Corker nullifies the call against Oakland, and the Invaders are still sitting there, 1st down and goal, the ball at the 7.
All in all, a pretty smart move by Tom Newton.
All in all, yeah. And we run out of time in the 1st quarter as the final seconds now are ticking away. So after the first 15 minutes, we have no score. We have an impressive drive by Oakland at hand, and we have had 3 fistfights.
At $63.95, you could like the all-new 1986 Mazda B2000 SE5 for its price alone. Or for its radial, spoker wheels, 40 stripes and mirrors, step bumper, and double wall bed, all standard. And of course, there's the $63.95 price, plus the surprisingly roomy, quiet interior with a 5-speed. And that $63.95 price means you can now experience a sporty truck, priced close to Toyota's and Nissan's base trucks. Mazda SE5.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! I'm here to win your heart.
Not with that.
Who you gonna turn to? Rapunzel.
Not that chicken.
Who you gonna turn to? Rapunzel.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Who you gonna turn to? Who you gonna turn to?
But where are the biscuits?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Over 200 years ago, a symbol was chosen for the American way. A symbol that represented strength and pride. One that would last as long as America itself. Today, the American eagle is an endangered species and needs your help. When you buy Miller beer through the July 4th holiday, look for this special refund offer and find out how you can help Miller help this living symbol live forever.
Miller's made the American way.
Introducing a high-performance machine for your office. Canon's NP7550 copying system. 0 to 50 in 60 seconds flat. Automatically shifts to the right paper size. Zooms up and down. Does two-sided copying from two-sided originals and sorting all automatically. That's why Canon's NP7550 is the automatic choice. So step on it. You've got deadlines to meet. For information, call toll-free 1-800-OK-CANON.
It's 1st down and goal for the Oakland Invaders, the Western Conference champions. They have moved the football from their own 9 to the Memphis 7 as we start the 2nd quarter of play. No score in the ball game. So they've got 4 shots at scoring from the 7 of Memphis if they don't make a mistake. Bentley and Williams are lined up in the I formation. Williams has the ball, eludes one tackler, cuts it back, touchdown, Oakland. Good run by John Williams.
Strong safety, number 8, Barney Bussey, came in on the run support. Tried to make the hit. You'll see him come from the top of the picture on Williams. He comes off there of the block. Can't reach Williams. Williams turns it up. Vesselo over pursues to the outside. He finds a little lane on the inside and only takes on one man to score.
Right here, you're looking at the difference of not being the home team. When they scored, it was dead quiet. Say what you want, it can have an impact. Jovic for the extra point is good. At 14 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the first half, the Oakland Invaders go 91 yards in 11 plays to lead it 7-0. First half of play, Derek Crawford is the beat man, number 9 for Memphis. He is flanked by Anthony Parker and Ricky Porter, numbers 25 and 26 respectively. And Jovic will kick it off.
Since putting Crawford back there to receive kickoffs and receive punts, the Memphis team has improved greatly on returning the ball and their special team.
They have the option now of taking the football out to 30 or letting him kick it again.
We'll take one more look at the touchdown here. There's nothing fancy about it. There's good blocking out in front. The receivers run the corners off. Williams just finds the hole on the inside and takes his touchdown. Very impressive drive, going 91 yards in 11 plays, using up 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock.
The one thing that was impressive about it, though, I thought, was the ability of Hebert to throw the ball to those distant receivers. He was throwing the ball a long way in many instances, 3/4 of the way across the field.
And I think that's something that Pepper is going to have to talk to his secondary about tightening up that cushion between in the zones between the cornerbacks and the receivers.
John Williams, tough man, short yardage. Jovic will now kick from the 30 as Memphis wants him to do it again. If he knocks this one out of bounds, then their option goes up to the 40. And I'm sure at that point they would take the ball.
You betcha.
Again, it is a low skittering kick that is fielded by Porter. And it's Ricky Porter looking for some help. Gets it back to about the 40 as he goes down. So Memphis, trailing by a score of 7-0 now, will try to answer the Oakland Invaders, and they will start very good field position just short of the 40.
It hugs the road with bulldog tenacity. It's
what they call 0-0 in the playbook. Kelly and Walter Lewis both in the backfield. And you add Crawford in motion. And Lewis keeps it. They just miss him. Walter runs it to the outside. Gets a block on the corner. Breaks into the clear. And out of bounds down around the 33-yard line of Oakland.
Last night, Pepper Rogers told me that was going to be the first play he used in the ball game, where he didn't exactly tell the truth. It wasn't the first play he used in the ball game. You see there's Walter Lewis, number 10, almost loses the snap on the shotgun. But he comes back and opens up with this in the first possession in the second period. And this play has never failed for the Memphis Showboats. It has always gained at least 20 yards.
They're sitting just outside the 33 of Oakland. A second opportunity now for Memphis. They were turned away in their first one. Now it's more conventional with Kelly back to throw the football. Looks for Moser, runs out of time. Runs out of time as Tim Moore, the nose tackle for Oakland, fights his way through the blocking and makes the sack. So all the news and noise around town for this week have been about nose tackle Reggie White for Memphis, but it is Moore who makes the first sack of the day for the other side, and the loss is back to the 42.
Looks like now it's about 2nd and 20. About 2nd and 18, somewhere in that area. Offensive line of the Memphis Showboats not faring well when it comes to pass protection.
He's right close to 20, 19 plus. Angelo Snipes is now in. And he's the quarterback hunter, the designated QB hunter for the Oakland Invaders. Very fast, not too big. Might be some encouragement, but again, no flag. And Kelly gets the pass away, intended for Moser. It is intercepted, pulled in by Vito McKeever. McKeever had 6 During the regular season, he intercepted one against Tampa Bay last week, and now he's added another, and it's first down, Oakland at their own 11-yard line. And again, the Showboats are turned away from an opportunity.
Seemed to be just a little slightly snake bitten here. The ball's put in the air. Vito doesn't turn around, I think, until he reads Crawford. At the end, he turns around. Greg Moser, excuse me. He sees Moser looking back for the ball. He turns, and he got the gift this time, Keith.
13-12 to go in the first half of play. Oakland with the ball and leading 7-0.
Well, the financial champions there on the man on the...
And the California Angels. Check your local listing for the game in your area. The Angels leading by 3. And they blew them out yesterday, scored 13 runs. From the 11, the Invaders go to work. They've been pretty much dominant so far in the ball game. Had a 91-yard drive for their touchdown. Hebert gets some pressure this time, and the pass is almost intercepted. Tipped at the line of scrimmage, and then it fell away.
At that time, the pressure that Memphis had hoped to get all during this entire ball game was there. It's the first real pressure situation they put on Bobby Hebert. The ball, who's that? The ball bounced through? Mike Gant, number 55. The ball just went right through his hands.
It was Hammond, the inside backer, Steve Hammond, who led the team in tackles this year, who effected the pressure on Hebert. It's second down and 10 from the Oakland 11. 12:45 to go in the second quarter. Handoff goes to Bentley, and Bentley fights his way across the 15 to the 16. Hammond again on the tackle, along with Bessemer. Hebert taking a long time in his counts. I don't know that he's checking. He just may be trying to freeze the Memphis defense. I'll make them commit themselves as to what it is they're planning to do. Banaszak comes in now to add to the pressure in the front group as a pass rusher. Since they're looking at third down on about 6.
Bobby Hebert is calling a timeout, I think. Yes, he takes a timeout and heads to the bench to discuss whatever he was having a problem with on the football field with his head coach. We'll be right back. The Invaders lead 7-0.
What a finish by Williams. Just one hurdle left.
Gatorade is started slowly, 1 out of 6, and an interception. Over his last 6, though, he's produced 67 yards, 5 out of 6, and Williams took it in for the touchdown. The ball is just short of the 16-yard line. It is third down and about 6.
Everybody up on the line of scrimmage. I think Hebert's checking off.
Well, they've got 5 seconds on the 30-second clock. They flagged them.
Start, number 62, offense.
False start called against Jeff Wiska. So apparently Bobby was checking off, and Jeff just couldn't control his body anymore. The body says go, and the head says whoa, and the body won.
And the body won that time. Just get a little edgy down there. You're sitting down there in that three-point stand or stance, and players are jumping around in front of you, shifting position.
You get the cramp.
This kind of weather, you will.
Third down and 11 now as the ball comes back near the 11-yard line.
That's a good excuse, Keith.
Showboats dancing around, going to play some tricks. They're trying to get pressure. They've got some pressure. Hammond over there. The ball is thrown away incomplete. And Hammond put Hebert down on his ear. So the Memphis defense, dancing around, were able to effect the kind of pressure that they were looking for and force the pass away. And it brings in the punter, Stan Talley. Now, ordinarily you'd say, well, Memphis is going to come out of this with awfully good field position. So Mr. Talley can knock the ball out of the county.
He certainly can. He did a great job the last time he had the punt, just placing it.
Yep.
One of the primary responsibilities for a punter. Now he has a chance to, shall we say, pad his average and boom one out there. Crawford's back, giving him a lot of respect.
Talley's in the end zone. 5 yards deep. Crawford's back on his 45, and Talley didn't get all of it. Derrick makes the catch, then drops the football at the 45, and the ball's still rolling around.
Looked like it bounced back in his hand, Keith. And he is a very fortunate young player at that moment. Last week, Keith, he returned 3 punts and returned one 63 yards for a touchdown. This time he fumbles it.
A 37-yard punt, certainly not on Stan Talley's average. But Memphis lucky enough, they've got the ball first down at the Oakland 47-yard line. Birmingham Stallions playing at home tomorrow, hosting the Baltimore Stars. The Stars closed with a rush and then beat New Jersey last Monday night. And they're the only USFL team. They are the defending champions, and they're in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year.
So far, Keith, you haven't said I told you so.
No, I haven't. I was waiting. Tim Spencer carries from the 47 down to about the 43. A pickup there of 4 yards by the big Buckeye. I was going to wait until the time was opportune.
Well, for those who didn't hear it last week, the few people that weren't watching our football games, I had picked Baltimore to lose to New Jersey. Thought Herschel Walker and et al. Would come around and do a great job, but Keith, you were right.
2nd down and 6. This time the ball goes to Anthony Parker, who was a running back here in this city at Memphis State, and he explodes for a first down to the Oakland 33-yard line. Tim Brandt now with Oakland's offensive tackle, Ray Penny.
It looked like on that first controlled drive, you guys controlled that protection. Last time you had problems. What are they doing differently?
Well, they're moving around a little bit more than they have the last 3 or 4 weeks, the games we've seen on film. But this is week 20, so we're used to almost anything, and you know, we're just making some adjustments. We'll be all right.
All right, so they're moving on them, Keith.
Both ways right now, but they trail as the ball goes again to Anthony Parker. Parker's a 6-footer, 205, slams in there with some authority, but that time there's just too many bodies. Those inside backers for Oakland are strong people, Gary Plummer and Ray Bentley, and they step in and really whack you. Randy McClanahan and Rich Dixon also play at that position, so Charlie Sumner and his defensive people rotate in and out, and they use them all, and they use them well.
I talked to Louis Sharp, number 67, the left tackle for the Memphis Showboats, and he felt that the offensive line for his team in Memphis could really run the ball down the throat of the Oakland Invaders. They've gotten back to running the ball now. Let's see if they can be successful in it.
David Greenwood, number 31, is in the neutral zone. The pass is intercepted, thrown right into the hands of Ray Bentley, but I'm just almost certain that interception will be nullified by the fact that Greenwood was in the neutral zone.
No, he didn't quite make it. You see the official already signaled it was offsides against the Oakland Invaders. They'll bring it back. The ball there intended for Crawford as he's coming across the field. And the linebacker just stood there and waited, reading the eyes of Mike Kelly as he led the receiver into dangerous territory. But because of David Greenwood's misjudgment, the ball comes back. Memphis still is in possession, and it's 2nd down.
And short. 2nd and about 3.
So they gained 5 on the play.
Gained more than that. They kept the ball, wiped out a 20-yard interception return, and saved themselves from the wrath of the Pepper. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Tim Spencer over the left side, first down, goes to the 19 of Oakland. Ed Smith, who played at Vanderbilt over in Nashville, and 2 years with the Wranglers, helping out on that tackle for Oakland. Charlie put him right at the 20-yard line.
You're talking about the personality and character of Charlie Sumner. He seems to be a very secretive, guarded individual. You know, I was talking to him before the game last week, and I was asking him some questions about what his game plan was, whether he intended to do it. He flat out told me, well, frankly, I'm not going to tell you.
It's none of your business.
That's right. I said, but Charlie, give me something. He said, well, we'll go out and play our best.
That comes from 21 years as an assistant coach in the NFL. Mike Kelly takes a look doesn't like what he sees and says, I think I will go over and get some counsel from the big dudes on the sidelines. 8:15 to go first half. Oakland, Memphis with its most viable threat of the ball game so far. First down at the Invaders 20. Spencer is the beatback. Play action, Kelly throw it. And he's lucky to get that one back.
They're not going to call pass interference on it, Keith, because probably in the eyes of the official, he could not get to the ball. If the ball is not catchable, then there's no flag. Number 51 is Gary Plummer. Number 25 is Anthony Parker.
Yeah, but the man that pass was intended for was Greg Moser, 84.
I don't know. The ball looked like he was looking to throw short and then just lofted it over everyone's head. Parker had to make an adjustment to go deep for it.
No, because Moser turned back inside and the pass was away. You can't throw that little rainbow up there fluttering around in the soft summer breeze.
It's interesting to note it was the run that got them down to the 20-yard line, and quickly they went to the pass. That's where they've gotten in trouble.
Ball is given to Spencer. Gets a block on the corner, but good defensive play by Greenwood. Stops Spencer as he gets over the 20. Greenwood plays almost like a linebacker from that strong safety position. He's 6'3", 210. He was a high jumper at Wisconsin, and he is tough as one of those old Wisconsin trees.
Well, he played that very smartly as he was coming up to put pressure on the run. Number 87, the tight end, Gary Shirk, was blocking on him. Now, there was a running lane inside for Spencer had he cut it back to the inside, but more of the pursuit was coming. He was looking for an outside lane to really pick up big yardage. Greenwood just played off Shirk's block, strung it out until he could make the tackle.
And it's 3rd down and 8. The ball at the 18. Kelly will throw into the corner for Derek Crawford. Dropped it. He might have run out of real estate anyway. He had slipped away from Derek Martin. Martin may run the best of the cornerbacks for Oakland, but that time Crawford got away from him.
Oh, Crawford got away from him. Derek just got turned around. He's in bad position, but Mike Kelly does not give Crawford a chance to really make a catch here. Look at the cushion he has. That ball should be thrown about 3 yards inside the boundaries, Keith. That would have given Derek Crawford a chance to go up for the ball, and Derek Martin on the outside wouldn't have had a chance to make a play on it.
Greg Moser will hold it now. Art Kuhn will snap it. And Alan Duncan will try a 34-yard field goal to get the Showboats on the scoreboard, and he nailed it. So Memphis finally gets on the board at 7:14 to play in the first half. As they, in the main, ran the ball down to the 20, then started throwing it and produced only 3 instead of 7.
Boy, could I go for...
Over Memphis, and Duncan will kick now with Faulkner and Otis Brown deep. He's got it, Otis Brown. Oh, look at the alley he had for about 15 yards. Penalty flags fly as the tackle is made up around the 33. 7:03 to go in the first half.
Are they going to call Osborne for spearing?
I don't know, but their Oakland folks are pointing toward the Memphis side.
I'm not sure. Or was that Oldham's number 32?
On the return. Personal foul. Yep. Below the waist. 15.
No.
Well, the indication is blocking below the waist against Memphis, which is sort of an unusual call.
That's strange. Huh? Memphis blocking below the waist? Why would the Memphis player be blocking? He's supposed to be tackling. I don't understand that call.
I saw this, what appeared to be spearing, as you did.
I mean, there's no technique that's used in kickoff coverages when you have someone going up against a wedge busting, or a guy just throws his body into it to take out a few of the blockers when you go low, but that's legal. I don't think you can have blocking below the waist called against the defense.
Something new. 49-yard line. Ball goes into the middle this time with Albert Bentley. And maybe 2 yards for Albert on the carry. The championship game, the final one for spring and summer football, will be played July 14, 8 o'clock, Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. We'll have it for you live, 8 Eastern time. If you live in the area, might as well come on out and be part of history, I guess, and say goodbye to spring and summer football.
We'll be there. We have been for the last 3 years.
We certainly have. It's remarkable. It's really not a bad day. It can be just suffocating hot in the midsummer time here along the Delta. But today it's quite pleasant. And timeout is called by the Oakland Invaders. They have one remaining now with an even 6 minutes to play. There's still in this city some conversation amongst the supporters, and the Memphis has had its fair share of supporters. They've drawn quite well this year at the Liberty Bowl. But the feeling is that there are times and places where Walter Lewis might be used at quarterback. But I really think that when Pepper Rogers made the decision to put Mike Kelly in at quarterback, and then he got Don Veselu, came in the trade as Thomas went to Jacksonville and Veselu came here. Kelly is 8-2 as the starting quarterback. That's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. When you look at the statistics, Lewis comes out on top. Statistically, he's rated at a 99.8 passer, where Kelly is rated at 79. In terms of pass completion percentage, Kelly completes 63% of his passes, with Lewis completing 52.7. And Lewis is a much stronger runner than Kelly.
Well, I think that was really the problem, because Walter tended to hold the ball so long and would sacrifice the pass in order to keep it in run. He just didn't want to gamble with it. And so as a result, Kelly came in, and Mike has a tendency to get rid of the ball much quicker, has perhaps that edge and experience that makes the difference, plus the difference in their style. Walter Lewis was a wishbone quarterback at Alabama.
I know Pepper harbors some belief that Walter Lewis would make an outstanding tailback. And he's built bigger than Joe Cribbs, and he's got good running style and ability. Yep. But I know Walter Lewis has his mind and heart set on throwing footballs.
It is 2nd down and 8. The ball is on the Memphis side at the Showboats 49. And Bobby Aber, wacko! Down he goes, Barney Bussey, the strong safety. First time today that they had sent the strong safety on a blitz. And Bussey, 5'11", 200, makes you know he's been there.
Barney Bussey is a designated hitman. Break him up, send him to the hospital kind of player. He just comes off the edge in that blitz on the blind side. Hebert has no way of seeing him come in on the blitz. That's a very effective way to put pressure on the quarterback in a big ball game. Your attention is so much focused downfield, you just don't see him or feel him coming to that backside.
Loss of 11. It's 3rd down and 21 now for Oakland. The Invaders are leading 7-3 with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Sides on the offense. That was either Ray Penny or the left guard who moved. Reggie Irving, number 65. Our father is telling us.
False start, number 65, offense.
Irving. Well, the Memphis defensive people, as noted earlier in Tim's conversation with Ray Penny, they're dancing around. They're showing blitz. They're showing blitz at the corners. They're showing blitz up the middle. And as a result, for a long count, it's very hard to hang in there.
And it's also cost the Invaders 2 timeouts, as Bobby Hebert has come up to the line of scrimmage, did not know what to call against a defense he was looking at, was somewhat confused, took the timeouts, and went to the sideline.
They have one remaining. It's 3rd down and 26 now. Oh, 2 men missing behind the line of scrimmage. He gets his pass away and won't get this one. Oh, my goodness. Ray Odoms dropped the ball. That's 2 interceptions. Coleman dropped one right in his hands, and now Odoms has dropped one right in his hands. And that's a pass you ought not to throw.
He really shouldn't have thrown it. He really should have just eaten the ball. Anthony Carter's running down the field. His quarterback's in trouble. He's drifting. He's trying to find an open spot. You see him moving around. Now he's behind Odom, and Hebert can't get enough on the ball to throw it away. He pushes Odom. Odom goes up in the air, hits it in the hands, and bounces away.
So
smart move by Anthony Carter to give him that little push.
With a little shenanigan himself, didn't he?
That's an NBA play.
Tally is in. Stand back at the 20. Gets it off at the 25. Good long kick. Taken by Derek Crawford, looking for some help. Gets some. And he's finally out of bounds at the 27. That was a 45-yard punt and more in keeping with the form of Stan Teller. You know what we're going to have in Birmingham at Legion Field tomorrow? I mean, these
Besides
two
a
teams.
hot day.
Well, that's true, but these two teams, they played twice now, and in the mud at College Park, Birmingham won 7-3. Then they played in a terrible heat at Birmingham earlier, and Birmingham won 14-7. But I mean, the big fellas in the trenches of those two teams get after each other.
Birmingham has the #1 rated defense in the USFL. Baltimore has the #2.
From the 27, first down for Memphis, and Mike Kelly wants to throw it. Gets his pass away. Downfield, Moser got it at the Oakland 39. And that was a Jim Dandy catch by Moser.
Mike Kelly dropping back in the pocket, feeling the pressure, stepped up, straight away into the pocket, looking downfield at Moser the whole time, able to put a nice soft pass out to him over the defender's head. Now watch here as he feels some pressure. You think he's going to run? No, he's not going to run. He's got the time. He sees Moser coming open down the sideline. He lays out, makes a very, very good catch here. Can't keep his balance, and he rolls out of bounds. They need more big plays like that to get quickly on top in this ballgame.
39-yard line, first down. And the tight end, Mark Rowd, jumped. That'll cost him 5.
Encroachment, number 83, offense.
Well, after the trick play where Walter Lewis ran down the field about 25 yards, they were called for a penalty and had to go back to about the 18-yard line. They were thrown back, a bad play. Then, after a big play here with Greg Moser making the catch, they get an offside penalty, and they're backed up once again.
First and 15. Ball comes back to the 44 of Oakland. 4:55 to go in the first half. It's 7-3. Oakland leads. Kelly runs away from the pursuit, gets his pass off. Pass is caught by Anthony Parker, but he lost his balance in the process and was not able to get to the marker, so he is short of the first down as the ball comes back to about the 32.
They rule he doesn't get out of bounds because the clock continues to roll.
They need 3 yards on second down.
4 minutes, 25 seconds. The clock stops now. Why? Now the clock stops. It's still at 4:25. Now it's rolling again.
In the middle goes Anthony Parker for the first down, reaching the 28 of Oakland. He needed 3, and he got 4.
I don't understand it, Keith. The clock continued to roll when I thought Parker got out of bounds. It continued to roll until it got down to 4:25. The Showboat was still in the huddle. The clock stopped at 4:25. The ball was snapped, and then the clock started again.
Well, the time's kept officially on the field, so you never know. From the 28. No room for Tim Spencer. Loses a yard back to the 29 as Doug Holly comes in to make the defensive play in there at defensive end. And Holly made 2 big sacks last week on John Reeves, the Tampa Bay quarterback, and the second one was really the nail.
So the defense came in and really closed the door on Tampa to give the offense one more shot, and it ended up with Bojovic kicking the field goal to win it with no time on the clock. Pepper Rogers' offense has not closed the case here in this ballgame, failing on most opportunities.
It's second down and about 12 as Kelly drops, gets some pressure, gets it off down the middle, and again it is Moser laying out and making the catch. First down at the 13. He caught it in front of McKeever.
Ed Smith, number 54, the outside backer, was in complaining, talking to Ricky Porter. Something was going on between those two young men. Kelly, standing firm in the pocket. Offensive line keeping everybody spread out, fires a bullet into Greg Moser. Moser lays out, protecting the ball, and himself just a bit as he hits a hard center area of this field.
Call it the 14. That's closer to the 14 than the 13. And it's first down for the Showboats. Van Heflin now lines up. A tight end is in there as a blocking back. Spencer is hit back on the 15-yard line by a penetrating Ray Bentley.
When Reuben Vaughn came over, tackled him, and got one hand around the back of his neck, and looked like he was going to take Spencer's head off.
And Spencer kicked Vaughn, and Vaughn wanted to retaliate, and folks separate him.
And Greenwood gives him the traditional pat on the rear end, the only spot that doesn't seem to be hurt on football players.
And you've got 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes. And the ball is at the Oakland 13. It'll be second down and 9 from the Oakland 13. Memphis has the football. This is their second real opportunity to score. This is what we have for you at halftime. You'll enjoy the Reggie White profile. Fun. Kelly will throw it. He's got Crawford, and it's Crawford's in the end zone. There is a penalty flag, and it may be against Moser. Moser, they may feel picked.
If they call this pick, I'm not going to believe it.
Pass interference.
I can't hear.
Mike Kelly walked.
Pass interference. Number 84, offense.
And it's
Lots of
illegal
downs.
use of hands. That is loss of a down.
Moser got nailed coming off the line of scrimmage on the bump and run coverage. I didn't see him use his hands on the particular play. And I don't understand, and you can see he's very upset too, how they made that call.
Well, he was sandwiched between two Oakland defenders. I don't see how he could have done anything except possibly defend himself ever so slightly. But the call was made.
Oh, it's third and a long way to go to get that first down or a touchdown.
The ball is back on the 23. It's third and 19 now.
I see blitz. I see draw.
Ball goes to Anthony Parker. Touchdown.
Well, in the face of adversity, let us dance and celebrate. Everybody was expecting the pass. I was expecting the pass. The defense has to be sure, has to be expecting a pass. But instead, Mike Kelly calls the draw. Anthony Parker gets great blocking in front. There was a blitz on. Everybody ran by him. No linebackers at all. The secondary is in man-to-man coverage. They're looking for the receivers to the outside. Great call, great strategy, the touchdown.
Well blocked. Hit by Duncan is good. With 1 minute and 43 seconds to play in the first half, the Showboats now have their first lead of the ball game by a score of 10-7. They went 73 yards in 8 plays, using 3:19 on the clock. And again, Moser has come over to talk with the officials about how in the world you could call me for a pick on the last play.
Well, Moser had just better lay that argument to rest, leave it alone, because all he's going to do is make an enemy out of that official. And that official will continue to watch Moser, as well as anyone else in the field, much more closely, and he's liable to throw another flag. We'll take another look at the replay. And watch Moser in the slot. He comes off the different replay, I'm sorry. This is Anthony Parker on the draw. Just a textbook perfect play. 67 is Louis Sharp. He's the escort for this touchdown.
One of the things in the aftermath of the run for the touchdown by Parker is Derek Martin got tangled and he went down and sprained his left ankle and he hobbled off the field. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to play full speed second half. Faulkner and Brown are the deep people now for Oakland as Memphis will kick off.
Plays 73 yards, 319. Defense did an excellent job of stopping the Invaders, applying newfound pressure on Bobby Hebert. Hebert's last 4 pass attempts. He's been sacked once and pressured 3 times.
Little mix-up on the reception. Faulkner picks it up and gets punished at about the 22.
Now we've had 5 fist fights.
All to no decision.
Now, everybody wants to win. To give you an example of how much they want to win, during the commercial break, Keith and I were talking about a trick play because we saw Walter Lewis and Mike Kelly in the backfield at the same time. We were discussing with our director and producer down below. And the coaches and some people for the Oakland Invaders could hear our conversation during the commercial. And they were scrambling, trying to call the information down to their coaches on the sideline to prevent the play, but they couldn't.
It worked for a big game. All right, from the 22, here come the Invaders now. They have 1 timeout left in 1 minute and 37 seconds. Trailing 10-7. Ball is given away to Albert Bentley, and Bentley has got a problem. Down at the 22. Greg Moser now with Tim Brent.
I saw you talking to the official as you were coming off the field. Greg, what did he say to you?
Well, I just came off the line of scrimmage and got knocked down, and the guy thought I was trying to block or pick Derek's guy, the guy that was on Derek. And I just went down trying to swim him, and he thought it was an illegal pick play, and he said it looked like I was trying to block him, but there's no way. I thought it was a bad call.
All right, Keith.
Pass thrown behind the intended receiver, John Williams. Mossy Cade had a beat on it, but he missed it by a foot. So now they are getting pressure on Hebert.
Bobby Hebert is 6 feet 4 inches in height and 208 pounds, so he can see well enough over those linemen when they come in. But that time they collapsed right in front of him, Keith. I don't think he had a good view of his receiver because he threw well short of him.
Keep in mind, Carter and Banks can fly. So can Holloway, and Hebert's got a camera. Third down. Hebert has time, hits Carter. And Carter's all the way out to close to the 45-yard line for a first down.
Well, that time they did not blitz. And Bobby Hebert had sufficient time to let Carter move well downfield to throw a very nice pass. You see the linebackers pulling out. 3 people rushing. You see people there being double teamed. Hebert, no pressure whatsoever, finds Anthony Carter. He makes a good move by turning inside. Most people, I think, would expect him to turn outside.
If you don't get pressure there, he'll just eat you alive. Pass is away again, and it is caught by Banks this time down inside the 40 at the Memphis 39. Hit made by Mossy Cade, and 36 seconds to play in the first half.
Now, I thought maybe they were trying to set up a little flea flicker. We'll get a little look at Reggie White, number 92. As he comes in, you see him driving there, pushing Fran straight back, almost getting the Hebert.
First down, Oakland, Memphis 39. Hebert pumps it, gets it off, incomplete. Well, after he had pumped, he started rolling out, and Sanders Shiver was there, looking him in the eye. 230 pounds.
A few seconds left on the clock. He was faking throwing the ball in a short route, then dropping back farther to give himself more time and give his receiver more time to get downfield, possibly in the end zone. But again, the Memphis Showboats came up with pressure. He had to try and dump the ball off. He was looking for John Williams, number 43, who had his back turned, and went incomplete.
Jovic may get a shot at it. 19 seconds to go in the half. Wind does not seem to be much of a factor. Hebert's pass long for Carter. Intercepted. Odoms gets it this time. And he's out of bounds up at the 33-yard line. 6 seconds to go in the first half.
Take a look at the pressure. Reggie White really putting the pressure on Bobby Hebert. Anthony Carter going downfield. Number 32 is Ray Odom. He's covering stride for stride, comes over the top. You look at Anthony Carter, pushed him a little bit there, but pushed him right into the ball. Bessalou, number 47, takes a shot at Anthony Carter. Anthony played it off, and Bessalou is lying down on the ground, but this time Bessalou, number 47, takes a shot at Anthony Carter. Anthony played it off, and Bessalou is lying down on the ground, but this time Ray Odom comes up with the interception, but there's only 6 seconds on the clock in the first half.
Well, might as well run the swinging gate again. Except Walter Lewis is not in the line.
Might as well run the floodgate. Flood the field with wide receivers down one side and throw it up in the air and hope that one of them will catch it or bat it back to one of the other receivers and they get some running room. And I think they're just going to flop on the ball here.
Derek Martin is back on the field, so the ankle sprain apparently of no consequence. And they just run out the clock and the first half is over. So after the first 30 minutes, both teams have played it kind of close to the vest, really, and particularly when they got down in area to knock on the door. And Memphis able to get the go-ahead touchdown on a 23-yard run by Anthony Parker on a draw play. And so it is 10-7 Memphis over Oakland. Leading halftime stats, scoring summary, scoreless after one period. Williams scored from 7 yards, 7-0 Oakland. Duncan, a 34-yard field goal for Memphis, 7-3, and then Parker, 23-yard run to make it 10-7 at halftime. Turnover shows up.
Now, the turnovers really haven't been that much of a factor.
Not yet.
After each of the 3 turnovers, 2 by Oakland and 1 by Memphis, no one scored any points.
Leading defensive player so far in the first half, Steve Hammond, very busy. 6 tackles, 3 deflected passes, and 1 interception.
And I could count all up and down my arm the missed opportunities of the secondary and players for the Memphis Showboats in the first half.
Indeed. Jovic will kick it off. And it's taken at the 10-yard line by Derek Crawford. Got a hole and just tripped up. He had a wedge in front of him, had a hole, but he was just barely tripped as he cut it across the 25 and then goes on out to about the 33. So that's not a bad place to start for the second half for Memphis.
I think Pepper had to have a long heart-to-heart talk in that locker room with his players, Keith, to let them know and that in this first half of play they were giving the ball game away. They did not offensively play very good at all, and they're ahead by 3 points.
Well, they buried Denver in the second half last week. Let's see what happens here. As Kelly on first down, quickly throws, caught by Moser. First down at the 47 in front of Vito McKeever.
He comes out throwing the football. Pepper Rogers had told me very frankly, he said that if his team had to win the football game based on the pass, he felt they'd be in trouble. That they'd be up against it if they had to depend on passing alone to win the ball game. And he comes out here right away at the beginning of the second half, putting the ball in the air. Let's see if he makes it 2 in a row.
Nope. Spitzer. And the play is made by Ray Bentley, number 50, that just got enough of his heel as he went by to spoil his balance.
Ray Bentley being one of those 13 players that came in from the Michigan Panthers when they merged with the Oakland Invaders. And McKeever's complaining about something. That's like defensive backs. They always complain about us very nice, easygoing, intelligent wide receivers who just are out there minding our own business.
Second down and 8. The ball is up near the 49. Spencer got 2. Moser and Crawford are both wide. They haven't gone to Crawford much yet. He's the speed man. Kelly's got a problem. He tried to go with a play action, but David Shaw, looping from the outside, would have none of it, and he sacks the quarterback for a loss. Back to where? The 42-yard line. Kelly sacked last week 0. Today, he's been down 3 times.
Well, that was not a smart move at all, Keith. He's trying to run a bootleg right at the top of this drive here in the opening of the second half without setting it up. I mean, Shaw, his responsibility as the outside linebacker away from the action is to come in and box it off to prevent that very play. And he's not forced him to pursue yet.
And it's 3rd down and 15. Kelly's pass is away. Penalty flag is thrown. Moser makes the catch out of bounds down around the 30-yard line in front of Derek Martin. No, that's Crawford. Derek Crawford making the catch. And Martin lost him. He got Martin turned inside, and before the ball got there, you had a penalty flag thrown. So let's see which way it goes.
And before the flag hit the ground, David Greenwood was turning around.
Number 31 defense. Penalty decline.
Looking at the official with his arms stretched out like, what? What did I do? And that was the man who was called for holding, but I'm sure they'll refuse it and take the play.
Ball is almost at the 30-yard line for a first down for the Memphis Showboats at 12.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
We'll take a look and see how Crawford gets Martin turned around on this particular play. Crawford, number 9, a very acrobatic receiver, great speed, good hands. You saw he just drove him down the field. Let his own speed carry him away. He stops on a dime, makes the catch. Timing.
Ball inside. Nothing. Anthony Parker just racked up right at the line of scrimmage. Randy McClanahan filled the hole, 235-pounder, out of Southwest Louisiana. And, of course, the quarterback for the Oakland Invaders came from Northwest Louisiana.
Keith, I've got to make a comment here. For a semifinal playoff game, everything seems to be a little flat. I don't know if Tim Fields senses that down on the field, but from up here, both teams seem to be a little flat, like they're not that enthusiastic. Even the crowd is a bit lethargic here this afternoon.
Kelly going. And it is incomplete, intended for Mark Rao. Tight end coming across from the left side. Rao ran all the way from the far sideline on the 30 down into about the 4-yard line. David Greenwood going with him all the way. Strong safety goes with the tight end.
Now these crossing patterns like this, these what we call bow outs, are real tough to stop, especially when you look at the angle the ball is thrown. Greenwood just doesn't have a play. Unfortunately for Rao, the ball is just a bit too far for him to hang on to it. He stretches out, but can't pull it back in.
3rd down and 10.
Delayed blitz.
Thrown too high for Derek Crawford. He looked down the middle, and I thought he was going to try to go to Mark Rao, the tight end who had gone on a post, but decided to go to the short man instead, and in comes Alan Duncan now, trying to add to the 10-7 lead. And this will be a man-sized field goal try. 47 yards. Hurry up and take a commercial, Peter Ringlehart, so I can get into the ribs. They just bought them out.
Memphis known for its barbecued ribs.
Duncan hits it.
Looks long enough.
Good. Alan Duncan hits from 47 yards. It hung up there and just kept on floating and fell over. And it's 13-7. The Memphis Showboats lead by 6.
Give me a light. Go!
Faulkner and Brown are deep. Good long kick to Faulkner at the 3. Look at this.
Look at that.
Whipsawed at the 33. Marty Bussey was one of the first people down there, and old Buss from South Carolina State got a piece of him. But it's a good return, I'll tell you. Faulkner consistently produces the steady 25-yard return, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He got excellent blocking that time, but when it looked like a big hole was going to open up and he might get the break he needed to go all the way, Porter and Bussey came over and made him a little sandwich.
Out to the 34 now, where it's first down for the Oakland Invaders. They trail by 6, 13-7 with 10:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Bobby Hebert looks right, throws left. Carter. And Anthony Carter slips away. And a little bit of a lesson right there for Don Bessalou. Now, Bessalou is a veteran football player, and he came over and laid a hard lick on him, but Carter just shrugged him off.
But that was Coleman.
I'm sorry,
I think number 31, yes. Leonard Coleman, the rookie out of Vanderbilt.
Alan Duncan right now, the man of the hour. Let's go to him with Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith, as long as 48, I think you said that one was 47. You squeezed every little bit of air you could out of that.
That's right. I just had to go out there and put it through the uprights. I'm an ordained minister, and I got a little verse I quote when I go out on the field. I say, don't be afraid of a sudden panic, for the Lord will be your confidence, and he'll keep your foot from being caught. So I tried to pump it through with everything I had, and I just realized I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and that's why I do it.
All right, Keith. John Williams right now, who is not a preacher, breaks one over the right side and busted across the 50 down to about the 47. Referee's got a lot of preacher. Third down. And again, you see the Oakland in that first half on 3 possessions. They were able consistently to pick up those third down plays out in the middle of the field. That's the first time that John Williams has carried the ball since he ran for that 7-yard touchdown in the second quarter. From the 47, first down for the Invaders. They're trying to answer. Hebert, little quick pop, lofts it over the head of the defender to Derek Holloway, and Holloway pulls it in. And Leonard Coleman's getting picked on right now, and he's kicking the dirt and he's angry with himself.
Well, they're coming after the defense with quick plays, a little play action here to hold the pass rush, then right away getting rid of the football. They fake the little short screen, and then Holloway takes off to run down the field. He had the angle on Coleman. Coleman was cutting off the end of the field, but there was enough sideline for him to make the catch.
Carter is now against Coleman. First down from the 28. This is Albert Bentley. And Bentley slants. He's hit hard by Mossy Cade and knocked out of bounds, but Mossy lost his helmet, so there was some muscle involved in that collision.
Never go into battle and leave your headgear behind.
He didn't. He got it knocked off.
I didn't realize that. Wind up with a headache that way. The young cornerbacks for the Memphis Showboats had to learn early in the season that no matter how talented they are, they can get beat. And when they do get beat, you have to worry about it, put it behind them, and keep playing.
Second down and 6 for Oakland from the 24 of Memphis. Hebert throws while backing up, and it doesn't work. He had Holloway and Bentley both in the general neighborhood.
I think he was going for number 32, Bentley. Number 47, Don Bessalou, was trying to come up to make the play, trying to pick it off. All the linebackers had blitzed. There was no one in that territory whatsoever. I don't know if a linebacker should have covered Bentley when he came out of the backfield if they were supposed to. Then someone missed their assignment, but Don Bessalou was there to cover. Don Bessalou said he had a headache before the game, Keith, and I asked him if that was a good sign or a bad sign. He said, oh, it's a real good sign. Because the only way to lose it is to put my head in someone's chest.
It is 3rd and 6. And we got a timeout charge to the Oakland Invaders on 3rd and 6. Well, they're down here knocking at the 24. Hebert didn't like what he checking off that time. Was about to run out of time, so he got caught and spent the timeout. Crowd trying to get into it on 3rd down and 6 for Oakland from the Memphis 24. Hebert's pass is caught by Carter. Carter's loose. He's touchdown for Oakland. Boy, don't tell me he's easy. He is a strong, tough, wiry sort of a receiver. 3 people had their hands on him, and he just pranced right on in there for the TD.
Now they've got Anthony Carter listed at 5'11", 162 pounds, and that has to be soaking wet. But it's got to be all muscle and strength because he takes it here. Oldham has a shot right here. He can't do it. He misses. Goes flying off. And then number 3 comes over, Mossy Cade, and he misses a tackle. That gives Carter 5 catches, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown on the day.
Kick is good.
And the kick is good.
And Oakland is back to the lead by a score of 14-13 with 8:56 to go in the third quarter of play. Semifinal game.
And it's the checkered flag for Rick Mears.
For Jovic to tee the ball up on the 35. He has been short all day for this kickoff. Has he had one inside the 15? Not much.
No, he hasn't. Matter of fact, the return people have begun to cheat up. You see Crawford lining up at just in front of the 5-yard line. Now he's moving up to the 10, to the 12, to the 13-yard line.
And Novo killed it. Knocked it all the way through the end zone, beyond the field of play. So for the first time today, the young man who came to this country from Yugoslavia knocked it dead. And it'll come out to the 21st down. Next Saturday, busy day here on ABC. We've got the U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship be played at Baltusrol in New Jersey. Amy Alcott turned him up this week, but Alice Miller has been so terribly consistent along the way this year. Tyrell Biggs against Eddie Richardson. And that goes with the Firecracker 400 stock car race from Daytona. So we've got a lot of things for you to watch next Saturday here on ABC. And here comes a sweep with Tim Spencer getting good blocking on the corner. Good leverage on the corner, and it goes for a first down.
And Greg Moser, number 84, Keith, was out in front blocking and just got trampled by the Stampede, and he is still down on the ground over on the sidelines on their side of the field. He was out blocking.
1,400 pounds of beef on him.
That's right. He was out blocking, holding up the defensive cornerback, preventing him from coming up to make the tackle. And Spencer just came up from behind, and everybody else that was pursuing Spencer were right on top of Greg Moser.
Now he's a tough duck from Oregon. He'll handle it. He's up walking around now. It's first down just beyond the 32 of Memphis, with Oakland leading 14-13 here in the third quarter. Kelly zips one for Crawford, and it is incomplete, and Derek Martin laid a hit on it. Memphis has scored on its last 3 possessions. Field goal, touchdown, and field goal, so
they're being very consistent.
Yep.
Moving down the field, pulling it together, turning it around from what they were doing in the first quarter. Right now, they've got the long way to go. They'll have to march it 80 yards down the field if they hope to get a score, or just short of that to get a field goal.
Moser back in, second down and 10.
The blitz is on.
Kelly goes down. Ed Smith, number 54. Coming from the bottom of the picture, and Kelly goes down for the 4th sack of the day for the Oakland Invader defense.
Well, that time the timing was just perfect, Keith. Mike Kelly had the offensive unit getting ready to go on a quick count. Everybody, Ed Smith and company, decided, well, we're going to come up blitz. They timed it looking for the early count. They got the snap, and they had a rolling start. Mike Kelly had absolutely no time to make a move.
It'll be third down and about 17. Or just inside the 25. Nothing doing. Anthony Parker had the ball and lost on the play. 2 yards.
Looked like he dropped that ball, too, Keith, after he took the handoff.
Angelo Snipes amongst those coming out of the bottom of the stack, and that brings up 4th down. Jim Miller comes into the game. And looking at the flags, there's not really doesn't seem to be enough wind to bother anybody. Faulkner is deep and should give Oakland, if he handles the ball all right, very good field position. Oakland fairly consistent in their scoring over the year. They've had over 100 points in all 4 quarters, so no one particular quarter is their big one. Miller's kick is away and immediately called fair catch by Faulkner back around the 38-39 yard line. 39 is where they mark it. A 38-yard punt by Jim Miller. And you've got 7:23 to go in the third quarter.
Miller's kick down by number 28. Remember me? I do.
Who quarterbacked the Oakland Invaders the first 2 seasons in the USFL. Now the Invaders leading 14-13. Go from their own 39 on first down. John Williams slashing. John was a short yardage specialty under Jim Stanley with the Michigan Panthers. And he hits in there pretty quick.
Ken Lacey was a halfback on that team at the time, and he did an outstanding job running the ball. And that's why Albert Bentley didn't get much of a chance to really play. And I talked to John Corker about Bentley, and Corker told me that Bentley never knew how to go half speed. It was 100 speed every day at practice. And so he was just a tough, hard-nosed player, but he couldn't crack the starting lineup.
There goes Albert. And Bentley is stopped at the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Invaders.
Keith, that was very important tactically for Memphis to be able to stop them on the run, on the ground, with a 1-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. If they were able to establish a running game to go with that passing attack that already has Memphis worried, then Memphis was really going to have to change their game plans around a bit, because they came into this ball game wanting to stop the running attack cold and force the ball in the air.
Tom Newton is in the backfield now, along with Williams. And Hebert drops to throw. No pressure on him. Passes away. Carter's got it. Slips and falls down, and then is caught and held by Steve Hammond.
He looked like he was about to throw the football and hit somebody with it. That's a bad move, Anthony. I did that once in my life, Keith. Threw a football at a linebacker. Linebacker picked me up, slammed me down to the ground, jumped on top of me, had my arms pinned to my chest, and I was trying to fight him. I looked like a little kid underneath him. And we were both thrown out of the football game. Leave those linebackers alone.
Ball is at the 45. First down for Oakland on the Memphis side. Carter's out for a moment, and Holloway is in. The Invaders look like they might have their offense together here in this 3rd quarter. Hebert back. Still no pressure all day, and now he's run out of time. I mean, there's time and there's time, and Mike Grant finally got over there and knocked him down.
I don't understand what Bobby Hebert was thinking about that time, Keith. He had all time to throw the ball, couldn't find a receiver. Give credit to the Memphis defense for covering everybody. Then he starts drifting towards the sideline, and he just sits there while Mike Grant comes over and lays a stick on him. Excuse me, Grant. I mean, why didn't he just go down? Or at least step out of bounds?
Well, maybe he felt macho.
Yeah, he did feel macho. Macho Grant.
No, you don't want to take that lick unless you have to. I wouldn't think. From the 45, it's 2nd down and 10. Bobby back. Drops it off in a hurry. Pass is caught by Albert Bentley. Wrestled down at the 35, and he's going to have a first down, I think, or very close to it for Oakland.
Oakland right now, Keith, has in their offensive line their backup tackle, Steve Wright, number 70, number 65, Reggie Irving. All right, and I think also number 56.
Yeah, Tom Tenor is in there.
Tom Tenor, the center. Now, they come in the 3rd quarter. It's almost as if they're giving everyone a rest, giving the starting lineup a little bit of a break. And I don't know how much of a factor that's having in this ball game. Now, they seem to be doing a very good job playing the defense very well. I don't know if it's tougher for the defense to go against these people. The defense should not be tired at this moment because it had the rest of halftime.
First down on the 35. Williams deep. John's got it. And he will lose on the play. That time Leonard Coleman was not having any part of it. John Banaszak was the force that knocked down much of the blocking, but Coleman hand-fought 2 blockers and then went in there and zingoed him.
And Rose came over. He was also standing people up. Banaszak and Penny going after it a little bit. 2 old teammates from Pittsburgh getting reacquainted.
Loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down 11 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And Oakland leading 14-13. Hebert pumps it and tries to set up a screen for John Williams and overthrows him. Williams had Reggie Irving, a pulling guard, out in front of him, and he was going to pick up some yardage, but Hebert missed him.
Yep.
The winner goes to the Meadowlands on July 14, next Sunday night, to play the winner of the Birmingham-Baltimore game tomorrow for the USFL championship.
In playoff game situations, Keith, there seems to be more pressure in the semifinal game than there ever is in the championship game. Once you win a semifinal game, you're already there. You're where everybody wants to be. All the pressure is in just getting there.
3rd down, 11. Blitz coming. Bussey after him. Passes caught by Bentley for a first down. Hebert looking down the barrel at Barney Bussey coming, and he got it away just in time to Bentley.
Hebert looked like he ran back about 20 or 25 yards to get this ball away, and it looks like a play he's been waiting for, where you get the blitz, everybody's coming after you, you're just backing away, and you get your running back coming out of the backfield on that delayed route, safety route right over the middle.
That was Steve Hammond that tipped that pass just a little bit, but not enough. Bentley pulled it in, and it's first down Oakland at the Memphis 22. Williams, sweep. Oh, look at Reggie White coming across the field. The nose tackle almost ran him down.
Number 92 coming up from the defensive line position, getting into the backfield, chasing.
He's down.
Until Mossy K, number 3, came over to close, and Reggie just piled up over the top of him. There's a difference in the players today, Keith, than in the early 70s. Big men like Reggie with this kind of speed coming after you, you can't afford to waste a lot of time running from side to side. Reggie comes off for a break. Earlier in the year, Reggie was trying to help his wife. Her back was a little sore, so he could pop it. He sure did. And bruised 2 of her ribs.
Hebert hands inside on 2nd down and 10 to John Williams, and Williams just powers from the 22 to the 19 for 3 yards. A minute to go in the 3rd quarter now. They ran right at Steve Bearden, who had gone in at the nose tackle position. They moved him out a little bit and produced 3 yards. White's back now.
Well, one of the things that you said it all during the year, Keith, that the USFL does not have is a lot of quality depth. In some positions they do, not in all positions. So when you take out a nose tackle, it's not a bad thing to do to go right after the backup man.
This is the 11th play in this Oakland possession. Hebert quickly for Carter. Touchdown, Invaders. Carter throws the ball in the crowd. Send him a bill.
Well, those footballs only cost about $35, $40, so send them a bill for 50 or 60. Anthony Carter just took off down the sideline. He's working against Leonard Coleman, and you're right, Keith, they do seem to be picking against Coleman. Picking on Coleman. Nobody can get across the top to give him help. Besselou is a safety. He can't get over there. Ball is up in the air. Anthony Carter makes a great grab. It was an excellent throw. Perfect pass over the shoulders.
And this thing's about to get out of hand for the Memphis Showboats, as Oakland has performed very well here in this 3rd quarter. Yovich for the point. Good. That's a big point, because it makes it 21-13. Oakland leads the Western Conference champions, and you've got 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
I got bad news for this guy. He needs a complete...
40,000 neighborhood, I would guess. 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And an 8-point lead now for the Oakland Invaders. The teams with the 2 best records in the USFL were the 2 conference champions, Oakland and Birmingham.
The fans coming to life for a moment here. They're playing the theme song from An Officer and a Gentleman, and Pepper Rogers, an old Air Force pilot, likes that song to inspire his team. Let's see if it has an effect on this drive.
The Yovich kick will go to the 4-yard line. for Derek Crawford. And a good return by Crawford to the 40. A step away from see you later on that one.
Anthony Carter.
He's been the difference, hasn't he?
Oh, he certainly has. 2 touchdown passes on the day. One, a pass thrown inside. Took a couple of shots. He still got into the end zone. This one, a very poetic kind of pass pattern. Just straight down the field, drifting to the side, waiting for the ball to be laid in. And that is the end of the third quarter, Keith.
And the score is Oakland 21, Memphis 13. We'll be back for the final quarter after this message and a word from our local stations.
It's a hot one out there today as Peterman starts.
We've got a quarter to play in this USFL semifinal game, with Oakland leading by 8 points. Today's game being brought to you on ABC by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Quaker State Motor Oil, made only from 100% Pennsylvania grade crude. Quaker State now comes in easy to pour and easy to reseal plastic bottles. Here we go with the final quarter of play now. Memphis with the football, first down from their own 40, and carrying is Tim Spencer for a short gain of about 5 yards.
Well, here you see the statistics after 3 quarters of play. The Oakland team coming out on top in points and in yards, but what you don't see up there, Keith, is the average starting point for each particular possession for both teams. And Oakland has started out on its own 31. Memphis has started out on its own 33, so they've been very even throughout the afternoon.
Kelly quickly to the air. Pass caught by Gary Shirk, the tight end, and Shirk will have a first down on the Oakland side of the field at the Invaders 45.
Keith, the Gremlins seem to be out. All the Memphis players seem to be tripping up. Shirk trips up that time early in the ball game. Some players, Coleman tripped, fell down, was on a couple of plays. The field is dry, it's flat, it's in pretty good shape, not too beat up.
Lonesome whistle in the background as the train goes by the fairgrounds here where the Liberty Bowl sets, and Kelly going to the air on first down, throws it down the sidelines, and it is incomplete. And the crowd hoots for interference, and there is none. Henry Williams was the man running the fly pattern. Anthony Carter is the difference at this point in the ball game. He's with Tim Brandt now.
The hour. Now, they've done everything to stop you, AC. They've thrown double teams, in and outs, combination defenses, and you still seem to be doing it with ease.
Yeah, they're playing a combo coverage, as we call it, man inside and man outside, and hopefully I try to beat them on the fade with taking the inside release.
The feeling that they are tired?
Well, I think the heat is kind of, taking effect of this ball game. I think, it's taking a lot more on the Showboats than it is Invaders.
If you were defending yourself, how would you stop yourself?
Well, I just put a man deep.
Now, there's a guy that can fly and knows it.
Tim Spencer trying to get around the corner and gets something out of it, moving from the 45 down to the 41 as David Shaw shoves him out. 13 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the game.
For a minute there, Keith, I thought Anthony was going to say, I don't know how you can stop. But you have to have that attitude, that kind of confidence going into a ball game, because when you're giving away height advantage, when you're giving away the weight advantage and people are coming after you constantly, a receiver has to go out and beat 2 or 3 people at one time in order to get open. And if you don't believe in yourself, you might as well sit on the bench and watch the football game.
Memphis needs a first down right here. They're looking at 3rd and 6. Oakland gaps the defensive front. Kelly will throw, gets his pass off, and there's nobody there to catch it because he was clobbered just as he released it by number 41, a blitzing free safety, John Sullivan.
John Sullivan came all the way from his free safety position. So, in essence, what they had was a delayed blitz. What you get in a delayed blitz is you get the offensive line making a decision early, picking up their assignments, once those assignments have been made, now that safety comes through, there's nobody left to pick him up. He has a clean shot at the passer.
And it's time to punt. Miller will hit it from about midfield and obviously is going to angle for the corner and try to kill it deep. 21-13, Oakland leads. 12:58 to play. He gets it in the air, hits it toward the right corner and knocks it out of bounds. Not quite as deep as he would have liked, but they've got to mark him somewhere around the 10, maybe the 11. Nope, they're going to mark him deeper than that. It'll be Oakland's ball at their own 8-yard line.
Want to build a super day? Then start with the one great taste that makes a super bowl of cereal. Kellogg.
Touchdown drive from their 9 and took it 91 yards.
It may be the best if they can make another good drive down the field, consume that clock. They really take the game out of the hands of the Memphis Showboats.
The heat right now literally is on the Memphis defense. They start with a run and there's nothing there. So they had that one played right.
Well, you don't anticipate Oakland taking too many chances. They do have a 12-point lead, an 8-point lead in the ball game, and they're backed up in their own territory. You know, why take a chance, throw a pass if they've got a great pass rush, get it picked off, then give Memphis an easy touchdown. Make them go the long way.
And they've got Talley, who's going to give you 45 yards on an average punt. Nope, going to throw on second down. Out of the end zone, Hebert, upfield, incomplete. Gordon Banks had his hands on it, but didn't quite have enough feet and inches to reach up to get it.
Well, Gordon Banks was just really trying to drive Coleman off as deep as he could. That's Mossy Cade. Drive him back real deep and then put on the brakes and come back for the ball. Now, he's in good shape here, but the ball is just too high for him. He can't hang on to it. Carlton Rose, number 91 linebacker, almost comes over and makes a play.
So it is third down and about 11. All inside the 8.
The defense can stop them here. They will have done their job.
Hebert looks at Carter, throws, Carter catches. He's got first down yardage. There is a penalty flag thrown about the 18-yard line.
That is absolutely amazing.
He can jump so bloody high, though. He really gets up in the air.
He gets up in the air. He's driving those cornerbacks. He's really pushing them off. I talked to Fred Bolitnikoff, who is a wide receiver coach, Keith, as you know, of the Oakland Invaders. And he said when he came out here, the one thing he worked from these guys with real hard is their technique. He said they came in.
The 30-second clock expired before the play. Delay of game.
30-second clock ran out on Oakland before the play, so we'll go back. 5-yard penalty. We're going to take a look at Anthony Carter on this last play anyway. Freddie said the receivers just were working with raw talent. They did so many things well just because they were so talented. What he did was he sharpened up their technique, their running style, being able to come back to make that kind of play, their footwork. He says they've improved dramatically over the course of the year and not taking the beating they normally would take.
You realize how big a call that is?
Oh. Instead of having a first down
at 25
at the 25-yard line and still marching with 12 minutes to go in the ball game, it's a 5-yard penalty. They're back on just between the 3 and the 4-yard line. It's third down again, and they've got to play things here, I think, a bit safe, Keith.
They've got to go close to the 19 to get the first down, just beyond the 18. He's going through it. Well, they don't get the first down.
Yes, they do.
Do they really?
Yes, they do.
Well,
he's going to mark the ball between the 19 and the 20-yard line. That'll be good for a first down. Because that's the point. He went up in the air for the ball. The defensive back hit Anthony Carter, number 31, Leonard Coleman, as he was in the air beyond the first down marker. Now, this is a tactical error on the defensive secondary's part. They should know that they're going to try and get just enough for the first down and really protect that area of the field.
Boy, that's a big play.
They gave him too much of a cushion. So you can respect the man's speed, but don't give him the ball game.
8 catches now for Carter for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's become the dominant force.
And he's not finished.
He's out right now after that hit by Coleman, but he did what he had to do. He went to the marker, jumped up in the air, and the ball hit him right in the chest. This is John Williams. And a tough run by John Williams for about 8 yards, maybe 9.
Looking at his hand, the way he's looking away, it might be some kind of dislocation. They always make you look away like that while they try and pop it back into place. Relax a little bit.
One of Bo's boys. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for Oakland, and now they're perched out there at the 28. Quite comfortable, leading by 8 points and 10 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the ball game. And right now, I have the feeling they have control of the ball game.
They have control. They're going to use their ground attack key, I think, to grind out the clock.
There's a pretty good lick. Mike Grant and John Williams butting heads, and Mike Grant won that one.
But if that running attack can successfully move the ball down the field, the clock keeps ticking away, and so do the chances for the Memphis Showboats to get back in this game.
It is 3rd down and 2 now. This point of a ball game, when you're down by 8 points, time becomes so precious.
Now, there are a lot of receivers, Keith, that seem to come out of running schools. You look at, and you talk about Michigan and Anthony Carter, Jimmy Smith. Scored 21 touchdowns in the season for Birmingham Stallions, also out of the University of Michigan.
They go to Bentley for the first down, and he's got it. Albert Bentley comes up to about the 33, maybe the 34, before Darrell Goodlow brings him down. I haven't called John Corker's name much today.
John Corker came through early in the ball game on a blitz, and he was late. Did not put any real pressure on Hebert, but that was it. They've been playing a lot of nickel defense. The Memphis Showboats have. 3 wide receivers are in the ball. When 3 wide receivers have been in the ball game for the Oakland Invaders.
The one thing that was an unknown, really, was whether or not the Oakland offensive front would handle Memphis's defensive bunch, and they have.
They certainly have.
Hebert lofts it up in the air. Derek Holloway pulls it in. 1st down Oakland at the Memphis 40-yard line. Give the Cajun Cannon some credit. He's on the money now.
He sure is. They're giving him the receivers the sideline. Excuse me. They're giving the receivers just the narrow portion on the sideline. Coleman is cutting him off, but Bobby Hebert is finding that little narrow channel that's open. Here, Holloway gets by Coleman. The ball's lofted over his head. Again, he's on the sideline. He makes the catch, just barely getting both feet inbounds.
Derek played his college football at Arkansas, the neighboring state.
You don't lose much when Banks or Carter come out, and Derek Holloway goes in.
Williams running over the left side behind Wiska and Penny. And I think Wiska's back in there now, isn't he? Yes, he is. Number 62 is going to open the hole for him.
Now the offensive line of the Oakland Invaders. Somewhat of a question mark, but today, look at the hole that they are creating for Williams to run through. 8 yards on that play, 2nd and 2. More importantly, control.
And 8 minutes to play.
You got it.
8 minutes. That's a lot. Good. But not when the other team is sticking it down your throat. Williams again going for the 1st down, and the surge is inside the 30, and he'll have it.
You will notice that the Memphis Showboat defensive team will probably be in man-to-man coverage, getting as many bodies as possible near the line of scrimmage, because they too realize that John Williams, Albert Bentley will be running the football for the Invaders, trying to use up the clock. You saw there Williams' statistics. That's a big fan on the sideline. Both teams have them, trying to cool down the bitch area. but the bench area is not going to be cool with just that one fan.
The attendance is 37,796. That's a pretty good turnout.
And that is. But it's been a quiet 37,000.
They got to start gambling now.
And they've got to start blitzing, bringing people, but if they're running the football, it's still going to use up the clock. And that's what's really working against them now. I think if they come in sweeps, it takes more time to get to the outside.
This is Williams. Mossy Cade took a dive at him and missed him, and Williams gets a couple. .7:05 to play in the ball game. And an 8-point lead for Oakland, and they're just eating up the clock. Pete Guerrero, a home run for the Dodgers as they beat the Cardinals today, 8-3. They won 2 out of 3 now from St. Louis. And Baltimore, who had the grand slam?
Fred Lynn, former USC teammate of mine.
Oh, dear.
Fred Lynn, Lynn Swan.
Ready. Mets in Atlanta rained out today. Hebert back to throw. Goes on that fade pattern to the corner. Carter caught it at the 1, out of bounds inside the 1. First and goal to go as Carter beat Leonard Coleman again.
Boy. Great day for Anthony Carter and a miserable day for the cornerbacks who've had to cover him. He has been giving Leonard Coleman a lesson and how this game is played one-on-one all afternoon. Leonard Coleman is going to have to go back, look at this game film key, learn from it, and come back and really, you see he ran into that wall there, but he's okay, and really do his homework on game film like this to see what he does wrong so he can improve in his game.
Well, I don't. Carter's a little bit extraordinary, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, but you got to play the tough ones too. I mean, someone as good as Anthony Carter, you got to find a way to take something away from him, so he can't play all of his game.
Figures Williams here or Newton there in the backfield. It'll be Newton.
No, he didn't score.
Hebert is over there yelling. But he did not get there.
Newton's kind of a big guy at 6 feet, 240 pounds. You think he could just lean over and make the necessary yard to the touchdown. But Grant and Hammond teamed up to stop him just short. AC, Anthony Carter. Just a little small flash of lightning in the football uniform.
Ball is just short of the goal line. Hebert dives in. Touchdown, Oakland. And they're about to make this with a successful conversion, a 15-point lead. And I wonder if we'll see Walter Lewis.
Now, we were discussing it before. I think it would be a good move on Pepper's part. 5:55 left to go in the ball game. As you said, they seem to have Mike Kelly's number. He can't generate any offense. And just the change of pace, having a running quarterback in there who can roll out, maybe pick up some big yards or throw the ball deep on the run might be what's necessary. But now the question becomes, can he make up the difference in the score in the ball game is at 28-13. It's a long way to go.
Kelly is the man putting his hat on, though. So I guess Mike's coming back in. Oakland's last 3 possessions have resulted in touchdowns. Vujovic out of Asana's hole. Good. Well, here's the situation for the Memphis Showboats. They've got 5 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the game. They trail by 15 points. Otherwise, they go home.
Go for the lean. Arby's tender, juicy lean roast beef. Lean! Be lean!
Hard-hat. And Kelly will be on the field, staying in at quarterback. I don't disagree with him. Man earned the job, got him here. He plays the game.
Pants with the one that brought you to the party.
Well, kickoff is quite poor. Finally fielded at 21 by Anthony Parker. And Anthony Parker runs the ball back to about the 33. And there, Memphis will have it. 3 timeouts remaining for the Memphis Showboats. 5:45 to play in the game.
Well, the financial champions there on the man.
And Kelly drops the throw. He's caught and he is sacked by Monty Bennett, number 91, out of Kansas State. Played a year with the New Orleans Saints. That's 5 times Kelly has been sacked by the Oakland defenders, and Monty just looped around the tackle and came in to get him.
Well, it just appears that all the things the Memphis Showboats felt they could do this afternoon in the ball game, they have not been able to do. They have not been able to establish a significant running attack against the Invaders, nor have they been greatly successful in the air.
Pass is caught by Moser. Got a first down, and he's out of bounds, and he kills the clock. Right around the 45, 46-yard line of Oakland. 5:04 to play in the ball game. That was a ricochet that he caught.
For a minute there, I thought this one would have been picked off. Number 31, David Greenwood, strong safety out of Wisconsin, comes right in front of it, tips it. It doesn't knock it away or out of reach of Greg Moser. Moser starts down the sideline, gets out of bounds.
He's caught 5 balls for 104 yards himself. Pretty good day.
A quiet 100 yards.
46 is where it is on the Oakland side. Kelly throws, drills it in for a first down to Gerald Bradley. And the ball is now at the 27.
Mike Kelly doing a good job on this drive, moving them down the field. One of the best things he can do at this stage, Keith, is to spread those passes around. Oakland's anticipating the ball is going to be in the air on every play, and they're getting set to tee off on these receivers. If he just loads up and keeps going to one man is going to take the brunt of the punishment dished out and could possibly get hurt. If he spreads it out, he's got a better chance of making them complete.
4.5 minutes to play. They run the draw with Parker. Touchdown. Same play that got the other one for Parker.
Same play, same result. First one was 23 yards and the touchdown. This time, Anthony Parker goes 27 yards for the touchdown.
Now, don't they have to go for 2 here, or do you wait?
I think you go for it. Now they're behind anyway. They go for it, get the 2 points here. That brings them to 21. A touchdown would give them the 27 points, and they could go for 2 and win the ball game. Or one would tie it.
They're going for 2. They're going to throw for it. Kelly gets it away. Pass good to Crawford. And it's 28-21.
They're flags on the field, Keith, and I think they're going to call another pick. I do not believe they're going to call this one again another pick. You see the way Greg Moser is complaining.
Exactly what
Pass interference, number 84 offense. Lots of down. The play is no good.
Yeah, but see, you don't get a second chance on this penalty.
Keith, I cannot understand this. John Stallworth, Jim Smith, and I ran this play for years in Pittsburgh. The 9 years I was in Pittsburgh, this play was always in our repertoire. It's in the repertoire of every professional football team you've ever seen come down the pipe. And you can count the times on one hand, Keith, that it's usually called in the ball game. If the receiver blatantly runs into the defensive player, then they would call that a pick. Let's take a look. Moser's coming in from the outside. He just crosses in front, splits the 2 defensive backs. That is not a pick play. They're going after him. Look how far away. They blew their assignments on the play, Keith. None of them went after Crawford. Both players stayed with Moser on the play. takes away the 2 points. They don't get it. The score is 28-19, Oakland.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't?
He had nothing to lose on if he had challenged. He'd lose a timeout. He'd lose a timeout, but at this stage of the ball game, you're talking about 2 points, which, if they're successful, could be the difference in the ball game as they set up now for an onside kick.
And that doesn't work either. Number 54, Ed Smith, out of Andy, came over and just covered it at the 43-yard line. And it's too late now to jump.
Twice in today's ball game, they've called this penalty against the Memphis Showboats. The first one I did not see. In fact, it was not a pick. Here, I think it clearly indicates that the cornerbacks and the safety who were covering on the play both decided to stay with Greg Moser as he came across the field after going in motion, leaving Crawford all alone in the end zone.
To compound all of the circumstances, the Showboats only had 10 men on the field for the kickoff.
You hate to see a team that's fought and played so well lose a ball game. And Oakland's playing them well. I can't say that if Oakland wins this ball game, if they didn't soundly beat the Showboats here, but to have the game taken out of your hands at crucial plays by officials' calls is to finish the season with a bit of a sour note.
The surge by John Williams there on the running play to the right side from the 43 down to about the 38, and you've got a Memphis player down on the field. It might be Hammond. Steve Hammond, the inside linebacker, who got caught in the... And he had to come off the field. He had to be helped off the field, so they're working on a leg, looks like now. 3:20, the clock is running. Oakland's ball. And the Invaders need 4 yards on second down at the Memphis 37. This is Tom Newton, the big man. And he does not get there. A lot of fine bodies going into that sidelines, including John Corker, number 53. There's Steve Hammond looking at a knee. Ball is at the 36. It is 3rd down and 3. Oakland leading by 9. 2:58 to play in the game. And trying to control the football and win the ticket. The Giants Stadium at the Meadowlands for next Sunday night's championship game against the winner of Birmingham and Baltimore. 3rd and 3. Hebert rolls. Throws his pass incomplete into the sideline. And a penalty flag. Hold on.
Players from the Showboat team indicate it's against the Invaders.
Number 70 reported. The play is legal. There's no foul.
They eat the flag. Pass was not catchable. And so it brings up 4th down. I would think they would either Bojovic will come in for a field goal or else they'll just run another play. Eat as much of the time as possible. 2:53 to play in the ball game. And Bojovic is coming on.
Now the way Bojovic has been kicking off and Memphis has been returning them, even if he misses it, you know, the field position is about the same.
Yep.
Bojovic was talking to John Banaszak before the game, saying that he thought the two of them might be cousins. After all, John's Polish, and Poland and Yugoslavia aren't that far apart from each other. John wasn't having any of it.
53 yards. The kick is up. It'll be short. Well short. So Bojovic did not get a lot of it, and the Memphis Showboats will get the football back at the 36. Tim Brandt, you were talking a moment ago with Mike Kelly and down in the Memphis bench area. What was the feeling after the call down in the end zone?
Keith, he's still very upset about it. He can't remember when a call was made like that in a crucial situation. He didn't think there was a pick at all. He watched the replay with me here on the sideline, and he didn't see the pick. He did see Moser being sandwiched in there, being pushed a little, but he didn't think the call should have been made. Now, as for the challenge, I tried to get to Pepper. I couldn't. I asked Mike why it wasn't challenged, and he had no idea. They believe it should have been. He wished it had been.
Too late now. 36. First down, Memphis. 9 points. They need to tie, and at 2:25 to play, Kelly throws. Ball caught by Tim Spencer, and Spencer is then wrestled down by David Shaw and Ray Bentley. I guess it's Bentley, the primarily tackler, and he's just out beyond the 40, so give him 5 on the pickup. Going without a huddle. Oakland starting to play center field now. Kelly gets it off and throws it behind the intended receiver, and Kelly is knocked down hard by Monty Bennett.
Number 91, left defensive end, rolled in, hit Kelly low, just as he was throwing the ball.
We've got 2 minutes to play in the football game. It is Oakland 28, Memphis 19. Memphis has the ball. They're looking at 3rd and about 5.
Shell.
Time. The Memphis Showboats have got to have obviously more than a touchdown. They could go score, go for 2. They'd still trail by 1. The man that has turned it around for Oakland has been Anthony Carter. 9 catches, 154 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Right now, Memphis with the ball, and it's 3rd down and a long 5. And Kelly under pressure. Can't get away. Number 99, Doug Holly, runs him down. And for the 2nd week in a row, Holly has made a big play late in the ball game, and that's 6 sacks on Kelly today. Doug Holly from SMU.
Doug Holly was running around. I thought he was going to run right off the field. And he was so happy about this play. Memphis calls a timeout.
They're looking at 4th down now, and they're almost back at the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 4th and 10. Right now, one might say that it's Oakland holding the upper hand. One might say it, one will say it. Oakland definitely has the upper hand, and they'll wait now to play the winner of tomorrow's game between the Baltimore Stars and the Birmingham Stallions at Legion Field, and that one figures to be tough. They played twice this year. Birmingham won them both, 7-3 and 14-7.
If Baltimore was to win the game tomorrow, Keith, and they played Oakland in championship game, that would be as close to rematch of the original, inaugural championship game as you could have.
Yeah, that Michigan won that one 24-22, and Hebert was your MVP.
That's right. And 13 of those players are playing here now with the Oakland Invaders after the merger, and playing very well. Anthony Carter, much more improved. Gordon Banks gives him much more firepower on offense.
And Hebert's better, too.
And Hebert is better. Much more seasoned leader. The offensive line has improved all the way down the road, I think, with the merger.
Memphis goes on 4th and 10. Kelly gets it away, and it is not intercepted. Ray Bentley was the man diving. The ball was loose on the ground. Bentley gives it a spin, and the door may have slammed right here.
Yeah, the door closed and the house about to burn down. Mike Kelly dropping back. Some pressure coming from his right. He gets the ball away cleanly, but he just doesn't have anything on it, and he did not have an open receiver. He's lucky it wasn't picked off.
Bentley, the linebacker, had dropped a good 15 yards into the intermediate zone to front the intended receiver.
Well, that's what you do. You know they need big yards to pick up the first down. You let your linebackers drop back in that territory. Have them drop no deeper than that. So even if you complete the pass, they come up and make the tackle for what amounts to not a first down.
Oakland gets the ball back. First down at the Memphis 36 with 1 minute and 46 seconds to play in the football game, and they'll just try to grind it out. This first handoff went to John Williams. And now Memphis spends another timeout. They have 1 remaining, and they'll obviously call it after Oakland's next play. There's AC, who's been the big star of the day. Of course, remember, too, somebody's got to get it to him, and the man who's been getting it to him on the money is Avery. But the most important thing to me, based on what I saw last Sunday, the offensive line has played so much better.
I was about to say, and before you get somebody back there who can throw the football, he has to have time, and it goes back to the big guys down in the trenches.
Well, Dale Markham there, number 72, 285-pounder out of North Dakota. Dale's played every single one of the Invader games since they came into being.
So we see Oakland. We've already put them in there on top. They are going to meet Birmingham or Baltimore, depending on who wins the game tomorrow, in the championship game, July 14th, 8 o'clock Eastern time.
The Memphis defense just not able to get much heat on Hebert all day long. And that was the big difference. Ball's on the 34. Second down and 8. Clock goes with a snap at 1:42. It's Albert Bentley going around the left side and held up a couple of yards short of the marker. So it'll be 3rd down and 2, and I believe he went out of bounds that time. So he stops it at 1:36 to play in the ball game. And we've got another Memphis man very slow to get up. That's John Cocker. But John's going to come back.
At the beginning of the season, we said as much, Keith, that we felt that the Oakland Invaders were going to be the team to beat out in the West with the merger between that team and the Michigan Panthers. Took them a while. Two teams just don't come together and make one that easily. It took a while for the Michigan players to learn Charlie Sumner's system, to blend the talents, to get them into a working and a cohesive unit.
On 3rd and 1, they go to Newton. And the 240-pounder from Cal Berkeley whacks in there and appears to have the first down, and does. And so now Memphis, with only one timeout remaining, can think about packing the bag. But there's one of the leaders of that offensive front, Jeff Wiska from Michigan State, Ray Penny from Washington, Tracy Franz out of San Jose, Jim Leonard from Santa Clara, Tom Tenur from Washington, Reggie Irving from Grambling, and Steve Wright from Northern Iowa, and Dale Markham from North Dakota, and the tight end Doug Cozen out of Illinois. They're the people that really did the job here today for the Oakland Invaders.
I saw Doug Cozen last night while I was out having dinner with Reggie White, and his mother and father came down from Chicago to watch this ball game, so he's got his family here, and his team is giving him quite a show.
Hebert running around, stays in bounds and forces Memphis to spend its last time out, I suppose. And they've got him back around the 32-yard line. And Hebert had no intentions of doing anything except killing as much clock as he could, and Memphis has spent its last time out. The USFL on ABC, and today's game has been brought to you by Michelob Light, super premium taste and less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all? By AT&T in long-distance services, information systems, telephones, and computers. AT&T is the right choice. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade helps put back the potassium fluids and minerals you lose when you exercise. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep-down body thirst. Well, Oakland will pack up now and go back home. And then they will make the move Tuesday. They will head east and get ready to start practice on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday will be a quiet day for them, and they'll play the championship game Sunday night. And next Sunday will be a long day, because that means you got to lay around all day long and go to the ballpark and play an 8 o'clock ball game that night.
Yeah, it's like sitting around waiting for that Monday night football game. You're not used to sitting around all afternoon. Maybe some of these players are much more accustomed to it, Keith, because they have played some Saturday night and Friday night ball games. But you sit around all day, you think about the game, and there's nothing you do. You don't want to waste your legs by going out and walking around. And you just play a lot of cards.
They can snap it this time and then one more. Hebert takes it. The clock is rolling. The Showboats can't kill it anymore, so they'll let it run right down as long as they can and snap it at the 29-second mark. And so Pepper Rogers, Billy Donovan, Steve Earhart, all the assistant coaches and the players who turned things around here in Memphis this year to win 12 games and lose 8. And they played 20 times, and the season is done. They finished on a strong note And they lose in the semifinals to a very strong football team, the Western Conference champion Oakland Invaders. This will be your last snap. That'll do it. The handshaking can start now. And folks head for the parking lot and the trip home. With a crowd of 37,796 watching at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee, the Oakland Invaders have defeated the Memphis Showboats by a score of 28-19. Bobby Hebert, 18 out of 33 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was intercepted twice. Anthony Carter caught 9 balls today for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arlen. Today's coverage was produced by Peter Englehart.